Good morning, everyone. Welcome into the 2022 edition of the Springfield Doubles Tournament, or to those of you on the East Coast, tournament. I'm a Midwest guy. I call it tournament. Sorry. Practice has just gotten over with here. I've got a plethora of things to go over with you. But the first order of business is for me to build out my picture-in-picture scoreboards, because they don't have those up until I get rolling. So what I can do here for you, my name is Mike Flanagan, by the way, here on Inside Bowling, and I'd like to welcome you into our broadcast today. I can kind of get started with my makeshift and just take you a little behind the scenes. This is what I have right now, but let me show you how much better I can get these scoreboards for you. It just takes a few minutes here. So I'm going to work on that while you guys get accustomed to this modified house shot, which is going to be very high scoring here today. Very high scoring. House shot meaning typical league pattern. Throw it outside, the ball hooks. Throw it in the middle of the lane. It slides, which means it's very easy to hit the head pin. That's the name of the game in this sport. You want to hit the head pin every time. And if you do that, you're going to do pretty well. Let me get what you guys want to see here taken care of first. And then we'll get into all the information about sponsors and all that good stuff. If this is your first time here, welcome to Inside Bowling. Glad to have you with us here. We live stream several tournaments throughout the year. I think it's about 7 these days is what we do. Had a lot of help over the years being able to make these streams possible. A lot of people have contributed to this. Far too many to mention, but you know who you are, and I thank you. So here's what we do to try to dial in these scoreboards. I'm going to do a little 3D plane swap out here for you. So those scoreboards are a little bit better. And then I'm going to run down there real quick and make a slight adjustment to the exposure so that you can read the scores a little bit better, because they are a little bright. We also have a bunch of sunlight shining through the window here, which is also impacting the scoreboard. So give me just a second. I'll get that fixed, and then we'll be able to start our broadcast properly. Glad you're with us here in the chat. I see you guys already. I'll introduce the players. We'll go over the sponsors. I do see Zeke Bait out there. Zeke Easy. I love me some Zeke Bait. Be right back. And just like that, I think the scoreboards are a lot easier to read. You know, 7 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that. They'd have just looked like that the entire block. That's why in business, people that have experience make more money than those that don't, right? No offense to the young whippersnappers out there, because we've all been there. I've certainly put in my time. That's what you get here. You get fine tuning and transparency as I set up the stream. The first block's always the worst. Always the worst. I'm terrible on the first block. I've made a slight adjustment to the cameras even yet again. And I don't know, the service on the way makes it very difficult for us to read that, but it means they need some help down there, it looks like. So I think we're probably just going to roll with this for now. I could tweak that one on the left and make the numbers a little more visible. Working on a 17-inch screen here. So let me see what I can do. I think that might be a little bit better, actually. All right, final tweak, and then we'll get down to business. There we go. All right, so very important as we bring you this coverage here, again here on Inside Bowling, that we talk about the players and the event. So this is the 2022 Springfield Doubles Tournament. This is an event that was the brainchild of those down here in Springfield, many of them. Starting with Kevin Williams. You know, he's the poster child for this. It's his event. He promotes it online on Facebook. So if you want to bowl in the future or even bowl on C-Squad later today at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time, you can still get down here and bowl. They still do have openings on C-Squad, and the bowlers can re-enter. The Weimer family, and, of course, our man CT, General Manager, also welcoming to this event and wanting to have this doubles tournament, and I appreciate all parties involved inviting me to be here to stream it for you guys. So we get started here on lanes 27 and 28, where we have Alan Smith, who every time he's on the stream, he wants me to call out Kyle Troop, a Fro versus Fro match, and it has not happened yet. So Kyle's very accessible, so I think he should just really reach out himself. But he's bowling with Mr. Brandon Leeskamp, and they're on lanes 27, 28. You see Alan Smith right there. He's one of the good guys out there. I really like Alan a lot. And then on lane 28, we've got the team of Ryan Stubblefield and Eric Sachs, a couple of great players from the St. Louis area, Lindenwood University guys there. So graduated, of course, but I've seen Eric bowl with Kyle Sherman in the past, so great player in Eric Sachs. You just saw him go up and throw a strike there. So you've got Ryan with a double, Eric with 290 still left. Strike spare for Allen and spare for Mr. Leeskamp. And then right next door, 29 and 30, we've got Gid Rash bowling with Brad Brooks. And Gid Rash has spent a lot of time drilling bowling balls on the PBA Tour. He works out there on the truck. Super great guy. I did a lot of streaming for the PBA, Flow Bowling, and love seeing Gid out there. He's one of the good guys. Really like him a lot as well. I mean, all these guys are great guys, but just a little background information on Gid. And then right next door, you've got Zeke Bate, who just left that 8-pin. He is bowling with Matt Harper. I don't know much about Matt, but if he's bowling with Zeke Bate, he's probably a damn good player. The pattern is a modified house shot. Should be extremely high scoring. We've got 7 games for you here this morning. It shouldn't take more than about 3 hours. It's going to be very quick pace of play. I am digging Stubblefield's look here today. I do like the hoodie. I do very much so like the hoodie. I'm a track jacket guy myself, as many of you know. As a matter of fact, just because I love me some me. Good morning, everybody. Sporting the blue one here today. It's nice to see you all. Back to the lanes. See that seamless transition there? I did that. Wasn't that beautiful? Thought you guys would like that. Other players bowling here this morning, as we do have 3 squads for you today. We've got the A squad here. It just got started a little after 9 a.m. Central Time. We'll be back again at 1:30, and then back again at 6 o'clock here today. Lanes 5 and 6, we've got Eric Samowski's bowling with Matt Russo, and Dimitri Cruz is bowling with one Nick Crummell. He's been spending a lot of time in St. Louis recently, which is where I'm from. I live in Ogden, Utah, but I spent a lot of time in St. Louis. Be moving back here next year. Looking forward to it. Sure make trips like this a lot easier. Down on lanes 7 and 8, we've got Jared Freed and John Beaton bowling with Nick Reidler and Anthony Dodge. Lanes 9 and 10, we've got Cody Aldrich bowling with Tony Resnick. I believe Tony was the St. Louis Male Bowler of the Year and also holds a USBC record now for an amazing tournament block that he had maybe going on 2 years ago now at state tournament, I believe it was. On lane 10 is Cam Crow bowling with Jarrell Morris. Of course, Cam Crow, junior gold champion, as well as a great player that attends St. Ambrose University, collegiate All-American. On 11 and 12, we've got Tyler Corbin bowling with Brian Kramer, and Ryan Spear bowling with Ashton Yamaski. Lanes 13 and 14, we've got CJ Bacalus and Brandon Cruz. And on lane 14, we've got Aaron O'Brien and Mike Sopolis. A couple of St. Louis guys there. 15 and 16, we've got Jen Meske, formerly Jennifer Helferstay. She got married, I believe, over the summer. Congratulations on getting married. And she is bowling with Lauren Pate. Or Lauren Russo, whichever you would like to say on that one. And then on 16, you've got Nate Garcia and Michael Martell. 17 and 18, we have Casey Murphy bowling with Austin Bolds. Casey, a Bowler's Journal champion, two-time Holiday Doubles champion. And also a two-time Greater Iowa Major Tournament champion that we've featured on these streams. They're bowling with John Ralston and Bobby Bonds, who I happened to see last night. It's great to see Bobby from the St. Louis area down here bowling. On 19 and 20, we've got Sean Lavery bowling with A.J. Chapman. Shake that off. And on 20, we've got Tim Barrett bowling with A.J. Rice. From what I understand, Tim's normal partner, Shea Bittenbender, who they finished second last year to Francois Lavoie and Christopher Sloan in a hell of a match. It's still out on YouTube here on this channel. It's the bracket finals. The semifinal match was crazy, and then the finals were really good. Tim bowled with Shea. I believe Shea is in Las Vegas watching Notre Dame take on BYU this weekend, so we're going to miss Shea. But Tim Barrett bowling with A.J. Rice. That's a couple of guys that can strike a lot. On 21 and 22, we have Ronnie Fujita with E.J. Parks, a couple of Lindenwood alums, along with Lee Briscoe and Cody Wilson. Lanes 23 and 24, we have Ryan Scott bowling with Victor Cortex. And Eddie Bird, the Birdman, flying high, bowling with Thomas Hess. Tom Hess, PBA 50 Player of the Year 2 years ago. And I believe he was third in points this year. I had a little bit of an injury towards the end of the season, but they'll be coming through our stream here soon. On lanes 25 and 26, we have Dylan Burns bowling with Trevor Baumgartner. And then 26 is Darren Breedlove with, it says Darren Breedlove and Darren Breedlove. I don't know if that's a typo here, but we'll find out what's going on there. I don't know if it's junior and senior or not. We've already covered 27 and 8, 29 and 30. I'm going to skip over those pairs. We got a few more pairs here for you. On 31 and 2, we have Brandon Pierce bowling with Neil Cooley. And it's good to see Neil out here bowling. Ryan Lance and Terrence Bright. 33 and 34, Tim Kern is bowling with Chris Taylor. Congratulations to Tim Kern. He just became an Emo's franchise pizza owner. One of my favorite places to eat in St. Louis. Not everybody loves it, but I'm a St. Louisan guy, and I absolutely love Emo's, bowling with Chris Taylor, who dominated the St. Louis Masters League and the Grand Prix Tours in the early 90s. And on lane 34, Craig Hendrick is bowling with one of the nicest guys out here, and everybody loves him, Tony Yarborough. And rounding out our field here this morning on 35 and 36, we have Vanina Carlton bowling with Donovan Kelly. And we've got Rick Justice bowling with Sam Swinford. So there you have it. That is the lineup for today. At this point in time, I would like to give a shout-out to everybody here in the chat. Hello to Thomas McGee. What's up, Jason Schaefer? How you doing, bud? How you doing, Terry Solvent? Hello to Tristan Healy. And to Banjo Kazooie fan, I guess it is. Chris Ennis, what's up, buddy? And Anthony Simonson. He's given us some insight about Gid Rash, saying that Gid does not work on the truck anymore. Okay. Thanks, little Ant. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Haven't seen you in a while. Wish you guys had more of a year-long schedule. I know it's a sprint and not a steady jog all year, but I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do here this weekend. I believe you're bowling, as I was told, coming up here a little bit later today. We do have some big players in the field Saw Chris Prather last night. He's bowling. Of course, Kevin Williams will be bowling later. He'll also join me on the stream. I believe Tom Hess is also going to come by. I have an open door policy here. I do like to have folks stop by and tell me about their experience out there on the lanes. Want to give a shout out to Kathleen. Hello, good morning all. Just getting back into bowling after a couple of years. Glad to see it streaming. Awesome. Glad you're here. What's up, Daniel Higgins? You and Chad Roberts are going to be bowling here today. Two of my faves. And they had a Calcutta last night. That's what I call them anyway. And I actually considered putting in a little bid, but you guys got a little expensive. So have a safe trip. And little Ant's going to be here about 1 o'clock. Great. Looking forward to that. Cool. So we're looking good here. I think my camera's pretty level. I think it's pretty level. It's acceptable anyway, at least for a morning squad game 1 of 7, right? Considering I got in here last night and this place was packed, so I decided to leave. I didn't start setting up till 10 o'clock last night. But honestly, I'm getting a little too old for this. I got to start finding people that just can come in and lay down all the wire. I'm kind of like Yadier Molina from my Cardinals, which I don't even want to talk about yesterday's game, by the way. Total managerial issue there. Front office issue, too. That whole sabermetrics and playing the math. Why you take Quintana out in the 5th inning with 75 pitches beyond me, and then you shorten the staff and the progression. You got to make Helsey throw 2 innings. Oh, my God. Anyway, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. They play tonight at 6:30. So if I'm a little preoccupied during the stream, you'll know why. Maybe I'll fill this booth up with a couple of drunk bowlers, and I'll just go watch the game in the bar. Probably not going to happen, but you know what I mean. I care a little bit too much about the product here than to do that. But anyhow, I don't even know where the hell I was going with that. Oh, setting up. So, yeah, so I had to set up last night. Oh, here's where I was going with that. I was saying I was getting too old for this. So, Yadier Molina, I just think about that poor guy who's been squatting for 20 years? He's got to be bone on his knees, wouldn't you think? And the reason why I mention that is I'm bone on my butt from sitting down, streaming tournaments, 12 years. And also I'm bone on my knees from putting the gaff tape down. So, I'm looking for some help. And it's it's a great paying gig here in bowling. We got so much money. I mean, I'm looking to sign somebody for $2 million a year just to lay the gaff tape and get me a pillow for my chair. So what are we seeing from the lanes here? We're seeing a lot of 1-3 pocket hits for right-handers and a lot of 1-2 pocket hits for left-handers. There's Zeke. See, here's what happens. When a great bowler like Zeke Bate gets on a house shot, he starts flagging single pins because that's kind of what house bowlers do, is you bowl 267 is what you do, right? Or is it 260? What the hell is it? It's 260, 268? No, 267, right? What is it when you go front 6, 9 out, sheet? Help me out. Anyway, that's just kind of I don't know what the hell the deal is with when you get on an easy shot where you can strike for days, guys just start missing single pins. I see 3 single pins on the screen right now. Are they all going to be converted? 1 for 1. 2 for 2. That 10 pin on 31 is subject. That is subject to a miss. Interesting the way Gid puts his name on the back of his jersey, too. I kind of like that. We got another single pin here. I think that's the game we'll play this weekend. Depending on what your drink of choice is, whether if it's Aquafina. Thank you, Pepsi, for being a sponsor of bowling and helping BPA bowling centers. 10 pin got converted over there. Or whether if it's an alcoholic beverage, or maybe it's a energy drink, or maybe it's some sort of protein shake because you go to the gym. Every time somebody misses a single pin, you got to take a drink of whatever it is in front of you. Oh, there's Zeke. He just left a 10-pin again. I know he's thinking about this. He's like, damn it, another 10-pin. Flanagan's going to talk about me. If I miss 2 in a row, he's really going to give me a hard time, right? Looks like Mr. Alan Smith here is going on a Dutch pace. Is that what I'm seeing? He struck every time on the left lane and can't strike on the right lane. Put that one in the back of your cap, everybody, about lane 28. Let's see. We got Lease Camp. He's doing all right. Sachs has got a double up there. Oh, he's got a 4-bagger. I'm staring into the sun up here in the booth as I look at my monitor. It's my excuse. 216 start on a house shot. 215 start for Gid. Okay. 215 for Zeke Easy. He did cover that 10-pin. Brad Brooks. Boy, Brad's a great guy. I saw Corky's Chisholm in the chat as well. That will be our next broadcast in 2 weeks in Memphis, Tennessee. If you'd like to join that doubles event, it's called the Nightmare Doubles Tournament. Check them out on Facebook. They'll get you all the information. I'm looking forward to going to streaming that one again. It'll be the 3rd year in a row, and I love working with my man, Mr. Chisholm. I hope you're doing well, buddy. And Brad Brooks from the Brooks Agency, very involved in that event as well, or has been in the past. Checking in on my chat here. Let's see. What's going on, Russell? Oh, Russ is listing cards this morning, sports cards. I've been doing a few sports card streams recently. Let's see. Robert Fusick. Deej and I say hello. What's up, man? The Blue Jays lost. Super disappointing. Yeah, they might be okay. I'll tell you what, the Blue Jays, they're all right. I'm surprised Manoah got rocked yesterday in the 1st inning. But, man, those Mariners, go check their payroll out. They don't have a lot of money invested. If they do well, that's like a little Cinderella story, and they got some young, great players over there. But, yeah, the Blue Jays lost. I wouldn't worry about it. I think they rattle back and win, too, so I wouldn't get too upset about that. Hello, Kimberly. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I'm surprised you're up, but not really. I didn't want to talk about it. Let's see. SV Lord Sage says, hello, everyone. I'm Trey. I've been bowling for 15 years. Joined the bowling team at Westchester Community College. Ready for my 2nd season next month. Last season was my first playing bowling competitively. You know what? It's people like you that are my favorite people in the chat. I wish you a great 2nd year out there, buddy. Keep enjoying your bowling game. Learn as much as you can. Try not to do too much at one time. And remember, it's a progression. It's like climbing stairs. You just want to go up one step at a time. And every once in a while, you can make a big leap and kind of skip a couple steps. But make sure you seek out help. Make sure you watch a lot of YouTube videos. Make sure you listen and you pay attention to what's happening in front of you, and you're going to be just fine. Let's see. Tom says Matty Ice is a Springfield native. Averages 220-ish. Okay, thank you for that. Corky, he's going to sign up for my gaff tape job here for $2 million. I love it. What's up, Justin? How you doing? 267 was the number. I thought it was 267. I'm losing it as I get older. That's the all strikes and a 9 out. Thanks for plugging that into a keep score generator. Let's see what teams are from St. Louis. I kind of went over that on the open. We've got a few here. I'll talk about them when they come through. Oh, look at Banjo. Been there a lot. I've been bowling in Special Olympics since I was 13. For 19 years, so that makes you 32. Absolutely love it. Awesome. Loving those heart emojis you got going on in the chat as well. Will there be an Eddie Bird sighting? There will be a Birdman sighting. I believe he's coming here next. The skip procedure actually is skip 1, skip 2. So the Birdman and Thomas Hess, they are on, I covered this, but I got to find them again. Tom Hess, 23 and 24. They're going to skip 25 and 6. They're going to be on 27 and 28. We'll have them in game number 2, everybody. All right, let's see. I'm a little too excited. Let's see. Will there be a... Corky says it's full. The tournament 2 weeks is full? Good job, man. Nightmare Doubles is full already. Make sure you tune into that stream. Those guys are awesome. Let's see. Hi from Dublin, Ireland. What's up, Peter? How you doing, bud? What's Brandon Cruz doing? He's bowling. Let's see. Randy Cartwright. Any other notable PBA 50-60 players other than Hess entered? Yeah, I'll look into that. Give me a moment on that one. Billy says, hi all. Just got back into bowling after a 10 10-ish year hiatus. Been bowling my first ever league. I'm a 175 average through first. Dude, that's awesome, man. I'll tell you, there's a surge in bowling. People are getting back into it. I don't know if it was COVID. You couldn't go to the bowling centers. I don't know if it's all the content that's out there, the PBA being on TV, all the cool stuff going on with celebrities. Mookie Betts was on Kimmel this week, had a bowling ball up there. Man, that's awesome. Keep bowling. Keep the sport alive. Andy says, let's go Guardians. Their payroll's pretty low as well. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Bieber, he pitched a gem yesterday. And hello to John Chapman. We've got AJ in this one here. So let's check some scores. Gid had 215. Brad Brooks bailed him out with 257, but had a miss in the 10th frame on a single pin. Zeke Bate, 215. 233 for Matt Harper. Looks like Alan Smith here. He's going to be sub 200. Never could get a double in this game. It's going to be 198 if he fills it up. His partner, Brandon Leeskamp, can still bowl 248. Ryan Stubblefield can get to 279. Had the front 8 there. I kind of missed that, I guess. 9 spare in the 9th, so you can't blame me as a black cloud because I wasn't even paying attention to that. And Eric Sachs can still bowl 249. That's a hell of a start for that team right there. Sachs and Stubblefield, a couple Lindenwood guys. And just like that, game number 1 is going to be in the books. Looks like everything's working okay. Looks like you guys can hear me. Stream is working. It's 9:36 in the morning. Practice started at 9. They had a 10-minute practice, so we are looking at 30 minutes a game, 7 games, 3.5 hours. That will put us complete around 12:45. We're supposed to start at 1:30. Don't know if they'll get the lanes oiled in time. I will tell you that they did kind of mess me up here this morning, everybody. You guys want to hear about the mess up? I'm going to show you, after this is complete here, I'm going to show you what I got thrown for a little curveball here this morning. A little curveball. Nobody's fault. But, I build out a couple pairs for y'all. I do that. That's what I do. And, they decided not to use one of the pairs. They didn't put them in use. Because when I came in here, I decided, I'm going to set up just like last year. And I used the exact, I'm like, they're going to use the same pairs, right? And they did. But they're going to for the rest of the squads. But I didn't even finish building out the picture-in-picture. I'll just let you show a quick peek at it. See what they did to me? 37 and 8. It's not even being used. There's Brad Brooks. See that? What's going on with that? So we're just going to pretty much hang out here for the A squad. Then we'll have a couple different pairs we can go to. I'll build a double stack, double wide as well. So, but hey, glad you're with us here this morning. Really appreciate it. We do have some sponsors to thank for making this event possible for the bowlers as well as me to be here. And I want to talk about them real quick. Ben Crazy. Had the owner of Ben Crazy in here last year. Basically, this is happening all throughout the United States. People are buying these Amazon lots of all these broken items or items that were overstocked. Most of them aren't broken. I didn't mean to say that. But you go to Ben Crazy, and they put these bins out. And the first day, I think it's like $7 for anything in the store. Then the next day is $6, then $5, then $4, then $3. Then they close for a couple days, and then they open back up again with all new products. They have a line outside the door. It's really a cool business. But Ben Crazy supporting this event as a sponsor. So if you're in the Springfield area, make sure you check out Ben Crazy. Pick up some good deals. Christmas is right around the corner. Also want to give a shout out to the Greater Ozark Shops, Pro Shops, also for being a sponsor. Kevin Williams, of course, involved there. And Brunswick. I want to thank Brunswick Family of Brands for supporting this event. Kevin is on Brunswick staff with the Columbia 300 brand. He's been featured in some videos on YouTube. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel and support Brunswick. When you're looking for your new bowling ball, make sure you consider the Brunswick family of brands consisting of, let's see if I can do this, Brunswick, Radical, Deviate, and then as well as Track, Columbia 300, Hammer, and Ebonite. And if you want to pick up some interchangeable thumbs or finger inserts, check out Ultimate Bowling Products. I think I did okay there. Go ahead and pat myself on the back. Feels good. And then, of course, we would like to thank our hosts, the Weimer family, Enterprise Park Lanes, home of the Greater Ozark Bowling Tournament. It's been going on for years. It's a good one, and we certainly do appreciate them as well. I got this really cool little graphic here. It's going to swap out. Whoop. Game number 2 underway here as we have the Birdman coming in to fly high on 29 and 30 with his man Tom Hess. And that's a nice little pairing there. And then we've also got on that pair with them Ryan Scott and Victor Cortex. And in coming in just to the left of those gentlemen is Lee Briscoe and Cody Wilson, along with Ronnie Fujita and EJ Parks. So the Birdman gets things started on lane number 29. Eddie looks a little more upright than the last time I saw him bowl. A little less knee bend. Just from my observation here on my 21-inch Dell monitor. I am behind 34. So I'm a little bit a ways from these guys. So I'm watching it on the monitor with you all. Here is Victor. Vector. Roger over. And Victor wraps a 10-pin. And here is Thomas Hess. Look at those legs, folks. Look at those legs. Tom Hess out here sporting the shorts. He's got his 3G shoes on with the strikes on the back. I always said if you put X's on shoes, you strike more. And there's Hess he's feeling loose, it looks like, this morning. He's feeling happy. I like seeing a happy Hess. You see him just smile right there? On the PBA 50 Tour, he could bowl 279 and he ain't smiling because he didn't strike all 12 balls. I like him in the amateur environment. I really do. I do. I like it. And I think Eddie Bird's going to compliment him quite well in this event. Got a little Ryan Scott action here. You know, Ryan Scott, he could still bowl 300 because he threw a strike in the first frame. And Eddie Bird, he can still bowl 300 because he threw a strike in the first frame. You got Fujita getting ready to come up and bowl with his partner EJ Parks, and Lee Briscoe is going to get things started on 27 and 28. Cody Wilson, his partner, of course. And that's going to round out who we have here for our game number 2. I am also going to figure out how in the hell I'm going to get you guys scores. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but we will get that figured out. And once I have some scores to report and a way to get them, we will start being able to crank those out. I will, at least at the end of each squad, have the scores on Twitter and Facebook on Inside Bowling. Follow Inside Bowling. And then also, one other little sponsor mention is we moved all of our merch at InsideBowling.com. We have over 500 T-shirt designs along with hoodies and some other cool little gadgets. We sell bowling cards and stuff like that. And that's how you can support our stream. If you like what we do here, we do not charge you for the stream. So all that we ask to those of you that may have a little extra in the bank account and you want to help support us, we don't ask for donations, although you can do so through the Super Chat function here, which we do appreciate that as well. But we like to give you something for your investment. So we like to send out really cool bowling shirts and stuff. So we've got a lot of that stuff available over on InsideBowling.com, and you can be part of that and get some stuff. Christmas is around the corner, of course, and you can save 15% with that coupon code YouTube, 15%. And Tom Hess just left the 5-pin. It was a very pretty little 5-pin there from Hess. You know, he is losing 2 revs a year. 2 revolutions a year as he's getting older. So if he misses this 5-pin right here, he won't be smiling anymore. He just will not be smiling. But he made it. He made it. Got a real treat for you guys. I talked about it on the Open, about how this event became possible last year, and it was spearheaded by Kevin Williams, but gets a lot of support here in the Springfield area. I've gone over the sponsors and all the people that's made this thing happen. But joining me now here in the booth is one and only Kevin Williams. Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, Mike. Good morning.
Well, we're off and running.
We are off and running, and so far so good.
Yeah, I agree.
So far so good. We, it's nice to have everyone's names following each other, because not a lot of amateur tournaments really do that with their systems. But last year we had some problems in the second squad, so far everyone's where they need to be, and their scores are up, and it's easy to see what they're bowling. So fingers crossed, please, everybody, because we want it. But yeah, how are scores looking this morning? I think they're a little lower than last night, because last night was a strike fest.
Yeah, you had a bunch of 300 games last night, didn't you, in the sweeper?
I have no clue. Yeah, we had a bunch. Chris Prather was started off with 300, and then he went minus the next two games.
Really?
Yeah, he went 300, 170, 210 or something like that. But, yeah, we had, after 3, I think we had 4 800s. So everyone came to strike. But, there's so many good bowlers. When they're easy like this, they're just going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to do their thing.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
But this is what the majority of people want to bowl on.
Now, I understand you're not as desirable to bowl with now because you've switched partners 3 times. Nobody wants to bowl with you. Tell that story a little bit. Who are you supposed to bowl with, and now who are you bowling with?
I was trying to bowl with Mookie Betts because, he loves to bowl. But the playoffs are going on, so that wasn't going to work out.
Kind of impossible.
Yeah, and I don't – this is going to sound cocky, but I don't want to bowl with anyone I could potentially win with because it wouldn't look good. This is my home center. I bowl very well here. So I don't want to bowl with any superstars, and make it look like I'm just setting up this big event so I can make all this money. Which, with that being said, there's too many good bowlers for that to really happen. But so I was going to bowl with Eric Nix out of New Jersey. He's actually my music manager. But then something came up last minute for him. He couldn't make it. And so I made a post, and the first local that was going to say, you'd never bowl with me, but I'll bowl with you, I was going to say yes to whoever that was. But Tom Bohannon got a hold of me, and he still didn't have a partner, and he was signed up. So I can't not bowl with a guy that's wanting to bowl that is signed up that just doesn't have a partner.
Okay.
And Tom's a good bowler, and I like Tom a lot. So we're going to have a blast today. I'm going to carry him. And we're gonna have a good time.
Nice. So I want to talk about that for just a second. So I go and stream events up in Iowa called the Greater Iowa Bowling Association. There's their majors.
Yep.
The Ebonite Fall Classic and the Ebonite Winter Classic.
Yep.
And the guy that runs it, his name is Joe Engelkiss, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Joe's in his 60s. He's a great bowler, but obviously he's getting up there a little bit.
Yeah.
But he runs the event and he bowls the event.
Yep.
Right. And I will tell you on those streams, if Joe were to ever win, everybody in the tournament would be happy.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be so happy for him, right?
Yeah, right.
And honestly, when it comes to this event, Eddie Bird picking the 210 there, he shouldn't have left it in the first place. But it looks like we got a lot of spare conversion opportunities here as we have the 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. But I think with what you just said and everybody that knows you, and because this is on a house shot, I don't feel like if you did run him over and get a partner that'll run him over with you, I don't feel like you'd have that issue with people. Now, if you won 3 years in a row and led by 250 pins or something, because you are that good.
A little get iffy of it.
But, Kevin, that's never going to happen.
No,
because
not
when
even
you
close.
leave a single pin, you're going to miss it every time.
You think?
Right? Right? I mean, you're going to go 8-bagger, and then you're going to miss.
That is my that is my campaign. I'll say that.
Tim Barrett just left a weird 6-pin over on lane 26.
See, I think, in reality, if I won the event that I'm a part of, I'm the promoter of this event. I didn't pick the pattern, but it is something easier, and it is a center I bowl very well at. But I also think anyone that knows I'm running an event would know I wouldn't do that. I do this for a living. I wouldn't ever try to set it up in any way.
No.
But for everyone to come out and bowl and have a good time.
So I wouldn't put too much into that, bro. That's all
No,
I'm
I
telling
wouldn't.
you. I'm just telling you.
No,
if you want, yeah, I know, but I like what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I want to show this Tim Barron. Make sure my my replay is working. Watch Tim Barron over on the left side of your screen, everybody. Watch this 6-pin.
Boop. And a miss messenger on it too.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Bad break and then a bad break on.
Back to real time.
So, have you talked about who you think's gonna win, your dark horses? I know you like to do that.
Well, first of all, no, I haven't.
'Kay.
I kind of got to see everybody that's bowling.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can get me at some point a list of.
can
I know.
send you a photo.
I know there's the one online that you posted. Is that pretty accurate, or has it changed since
I'm gonna
then?
send you my most current one.
Okay.
Right this second.
Yeah, send that to me. You know, I'm not saying it just because they've been texting me and because they're my friends.
but you are.
But there's something about Dan Higgins and Chad Roberts that kind of stands out to me.
They
for some
always
reason.
stand out.
And look, I think there's about 10 teams that are the cream of the crop.
Yep.
Like Macho Man used to say.
Yep.
The cream, man. Well,
Yeah, brother.
I think the thing that makes them a little bit better is that they bowled so many damn doubles
They have
tournaments
so
together,
much chemistry.
right?
So much chemistry.
So, you know, but I will tell you, man, AJ Rice, Tim Barrett. Tim
16.
finished second last year with Shea.
Yep.
And Shea couldn't be here, but
Yep.
now he's got the lefty and AJ
Yeah,
Rice
shake
on
off
a
that
house
backup
shot.
plan.
I mean, AJ Rice could average 270.
He's been known to do that.
Why is Eddie Bird leaving 2 pin combinations?
I don't know. I
It's-
bowled with him last year, and he left a couple of them too.
Yeah, I think he's in the wrong. He's got to be in the wrong ball. I haven't psychoanalyzed this, but if Eddie's left a 210 and a 2-4-10 on a house shot, it means he's got over/under ball reaction. So
Oh, yeah.
he's going to either have to make a zone move. He's either going to need to attack the dry, or he's going to need to probably take a big step left and get a big ball in his hand and shape the pattern a little bit
They're
more.
a little tighter this year than they were last year. Enterprise is one of those centers that no matter what you put out, you're going to find hook because there's just free hook here.
Mm-hmm.
So CT, the tournament director, Chris Taylor, also the manager of this center, he wanted to make sure we had a little more volume out this year. So it's 43 feet, 26 mils. Where last year I think it might have been a little shorter.
Say that one more time for me.
43 feet and 26 mils. I think the ratio is like 12-1.
Do you know how long this Brunswick lane service has been in here, roughly?
God.
I don't need an exact.
25 years?
25 years.
That's a good guess, right?
Okay.
So they're a little tighter. Guys can play the track a little more. They can stay a little straighter. They can throw a little bit bigger ball than usually here. Usually the weak balls are good. So what will that look like for the last 3 games? I think they're going to get pretty cliffed and a little tricky down lane. It's going to be, might not be hard to hit the hole still, but it's going to be hard to carry. So I think scores will fall off a little bit towards the back half of a block, as they always do anyways.
Sure.
But I think that's where the guys will kind of separate from, the cash number and the guys that are going to start whacking them. They're going to still figure out how to shoot 230, 240 the last couple, where some people might grind out 202
So you talked about teams, just to give some folks an idea of who's bowling on the next squad. You got Chris Prather with Brandon Biondo. You got Michael Holloman bowling with Parker Capra. I'm just going through a few of the notables here. You've got Farrell Williams bowling with Zach Wilkins. Anthony Nyer with Alec Keplinger. I mean, you've got some Mike Dole with Kendall Martin. Ryan Barnes and Spencer Robars. That's probably a team to watch. I don't know how much they bowl on house, but
I mean, this is one of Spencer's hometown centers. He's bowled here his whole young career. He knows how to strike here.
How about Simo and Doyle?
And Cameron knows how to strike on the house shots now.
Yeah,
he crushes them up in St. Louis.
Doyle's starting to become, like, if there were a bunch of Mega Buck tournaments, I think Doyle, I know he tried the tour and everything, but I feel like his game is kind of really started to come around
matured.
at the amateur level. I think he's really starting to get her done.
Yep, not as much pressure. He's just happy to be here.
You got Higgins and Roberts coming up this afternoon as well. Of course, yourself, you're bowling. So, I mean, there's, Russ Oviatt is bowling.
Packy
and Anthony Lavery spar.
That's my team to win.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Did you
that's
buy
a
them?
good team. I didn't buy them.
Okay. All right.
I thought about it. I did not buy them, though.
And then C Squad later today, we've got a little TJ Rock bowling with Brandon Bonta. And players, and they can re-enter if they like. Bowlers can re-enter on the C Squad coming up at 6. So those are some of the names coming up here. The next squad's pretty loaded and pretty full too.
It is all the way full.
Yeah. So
all the way full. So yeah, we definitely. It's funny, you know. A lot of people are like, man, your field is stacked, and I'm still like, I'm missing a lot of guys that should be here, but you know, it is still a stacked field. There's so many good teams.
Yeah, and in the chat, just to respond to a couple of questions here, Parker Bone is not here. He's not bowling. Eric Liddig wants to give a shout-out. He's St. Ambrose coach. I just spent some time with him a few weeks ago up in Iowa. A lot of St. Ambrose bowlers bowling. That's absolutely correct, including Cameron Crows on this squad.
Love it.
And John Chapman wants to know, where are the standings going to be? So, and I was telling everybody we do need to work that out.
They're going to be coming out pretty quick, so I said that we will always need a sheet up here for you, so...
Yeah, and then I just are we going to be able to get an electronic copy of that sent to me to be able to post anywhere?
Do you want one? Yeah, we can.
Yeah, they can email it to Mike at InsideBowling.com, and then I could bring it up on the screen, and then I could also get that out on Twitter, you know, or something like that.
Yeah. I'll tell the people I need to tell to do that. So Eddie Bird has 210 twice when I've looked, and now he just left the 3, 4, 6, 7, and he just barely missed it. So he has the all or nothing ball reaction because he's either striking or he's getting 7, which is not what we want. Excuse me. Some up and down scores a little bit. You know, the trick about doubles tournaments is even if they're easy, to get both of you guys to strike like crazy, it's not always the easiest task. You know, you see it right in front of Zeke Bates going to shoot 270. His partner's looking at 2-0. You got some other guys that got 250 to 210. You know, so having both of you guys strike, it's not always an easy task. So that's what kind of keeps the scores from being super high like the single sweeper was. So I don't think they're going to be quite as high they were last night, if anyone saw those standings that we posted.
Did we just have a celebrity Deadwood clear?
That was Steve Weimer loves to get the Deadwoods. So that 6-pin that Tim Brandt left, I don't know who just bowled on 26, that same lane. They also almost just pocket 6-pin, but it fell late.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the rack's a little off there or if that lane's a little tighter or whoever's bowling on that lane just has bad ball reaction.
Tom Hess can still bowl 280.
Yep. And, you know, Eddie's looking at 210 if he goes sheet. So, you know, one guy strikes and holds the other guy up. But that's what doubles tournaments are for. That's what those partners are for.
Ooh, Brian Ogle with a shot fired this morning says at least Eddie's scoring more than his Broncos.
Bronco Nation. Let's ride.
That's right.
That's right. That was what a barn burner of a game that was.
Oh my goodness.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
If you just said at the beginning of the season, hey, through 5 weeks, you know, the Colts, they took down KC and they beat Russ in Denver like before the season started, like, man, they could be a Super Bowl contender.
Matty Ice, baby.
And that actually did happen.
Matty Ice, baby.
Oh man, I like Eddie's move there. That was much better.
It
looked like he moved a little right, maybe balled down, attacked the dry a little bit more.
Yeah, I think so.
I like that move. I like that move a lot.
As much oil as there is in the middle part lane, there's still plenty of friction out. So how you get it to hook from there?
You know, there's bowling centers you go to, and you just feel like this is a tournament center.
Yeah.
And every time I come here, I just feel like it's just a tournament center. I know they got great leagues, great open play, things like that. But, man, every time I come here, I just think, man, Greater Ozark, I think tournament.
Steve, the proprietor, would love to hear that. He takes pride in that. He considers this a premium doubles event now. And he used to not be really big on running stuff like this outside of, you know, we have the Greater Ozarks Open. So when I kind of came to him and said, hey, I want to run a big doubles event, he was like, yeah, I mean, you can do what you want, but I don't really love them, you know. And now he's like, this is amazing. He loves every second of this. He's always so happy when this weekend comes around. So he loves to see all these faces in here. Yeah, it's always a good time. We've had very minimum complaints in the 2 years we've ran it, you know. Not even really complaints, more about like suggestions of some changes. And we always listen to people. The first year we ran a bracket. The top 16 was just 1 through 16 bowl, where now we have buys because after the first year, Mitch Hoope and his partner Ryan Burks led by an absolute mile and lost in the first round. And they kind of said, I don't think it's fair. We bowled the cashers round, and we didn't even need to because we were leading by so much as is. Then we lost in the first round. And he said, I think you should imply some buys. And I was like, you know what? I don't disagree. So it's exactly what we did. So we like to grow and change in the right direction every year. So
going over the tournament, how much did it cost to enter?
$450 a team.
$450 a team.
Yes,
okay.
sir. Re-entry is the exact same as well.
And first place is $10,000.
$10,000 guaranteed. Yes, sir. We have the Calcutta as well. So we're paying 1 and 4. So with re-entries, I'm sure we're going to be paying about 25, 27 spots or so. Just kind of depends. The first 2 years that we've done the re-entries, we've gotten about 25-ish teams or so to re-enter. So if we get about the same, we'll be at about 110 teams, 115 teams, which I'm good with.
No, it's great, man.
As you know, you run, in my opinion, the biggest doubles tournament in the nation. It takes time to build these things. So going on year 3 and having the field that we have and the numbers we have and people being excited to be here, I'm ecstatic.
This is the doubles time of the year for me. I got this one. In 2 weeks, I go to the Nightmare doubles.
Yep.
Are you bowling that one or not?
Yeah, I'm bowling with Tim.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Yep.
And so I'll see you there. And then holiday doubles. So I do 3 doubles tournaments towards the end of the season here.
I love doubles tournaments. They're the best.
They are. I actually need to probably talk to Joe about that up in Iowa. Maybe
run one up there?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would. I mean, so many people come and bowl his events. I'm sure they would show up for a doubles event.
I'm actually kind of thinking about maybe I won't stream any events unless it's a doubles event. I'll just be inside bowling. It's always doubles. That's it.
Inside bowling double stream.
That's it. Always. Oh, I thought he was going to
picked it.
pick up that 4-8-10. So
All
here
Eddie
is
needs a
the
strike.
Birdman in the 9th. Yeah.
He needs a strike.
I love what he's doing here. It's much better look.
Yes, sir.
He looks a little more upright to me. I said that earlier. He may be starting to get a little bit lower now, but Eddie used to have really low knee bend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really low, but low enough. He just
age?
looks a little more upright. Yep.
Just can't quite get lower to that line. Well, Tom's doing his thing.
Yeah,
He turned 50 and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna beat everybody. He just started dialing it in.
And let me tell you a little something here too about Hess.
Oh, and 1 on 28.
Yeah, how about that? So Tom Hess this summer bowled the PBA 50, and I was out there for all the events pretty much. And I was kind of he had some bad fashion at times. Like he wore like
as all bowlers
he
do.
wore like blue with black or something. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't very good. Today, I'm going to give Tom a little bit of a hard time again. I think he should have black shorts on.
I didn't see what his color. What
yeah,
color
you're going to see it in a
on.
minute.
Okay.
I think he should have black shorts today.
All right.
So I know Sue's watching. This isn't a huge party foul. He's got khakis on,
but it's a growing experience
with an orange, black, and white jersey.
Oh yeah, no, the orange and khaki are a little too close. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tom should have wore black shorts there. I'm good with the shorts. He's showing off his legs, showing off his shape.
But what if he strikes? Maybe he's superstitious about the colors. Maybe he's like, this is my color combo.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I mean, because you can see him over to the left here. See, he's got the black.
Yeah, the black would have went perfect because he's
black
got the black
pants
sleeves.
would have been perfect, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
You got to learn them. Well, we're wrapping up game 2 here right now. Springfield doubles shootout. Enterprise Park Lanes in Springfield, Missouri. Mike Flanagan doing his thing. Steve loves having you here. We all love having you here, obviously. So
I'm glad I get invited.
It's awesome to do the stream, A lot of the locals, even if they're not here when they could be watching it in person, it's nice that they can sit at home and watch these superstars, all these PBA guys bowling at the center they bowl league at on Wednesday night and stuff. So I know they appreciate that even if they aren't up here right now.
Well, and this event feels like home to me too because there's a lot of St. Louis guys down here,
definitely.
and then because I've bowled a Greater so many years there, 10, 15 years I bowled that tournament. When I was bowling more competitively, it just feels like home. And then obviously yours and my relationship.
Yep.
And your GM here, CT, right?
My boy.
Yeah, he's great. And now that I've been here a couple of years, it just feels very comfortable.
Yes.
And I like that. It feels good for me to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you as always. So People can see what we're doing, the bigger picture.
People think I'm too busy sometimes. Like, they don't even ask anymore. They're like, he's too busy. You don't have time for me. I don't know. Maybe I do, you know. I got time for friends. I do that. That's for sure.
I mean, you know, if it's a good weekend for you. Okay. Hey, when we get standings out, can we send him a digital copy so that way you can post on like Twitter and all that stuff? Give him a screenshot of it.
I have. What are we wanting?
To send him a digital
Looks like we're working on.
So we have one that's we have 2 scores that are messing up. They're not actually imprinting into the scores because they changed their names, and so we're having to manually put them in.
Okay.
And we can't actually. It won't print plus or minus unless we have everybody's squad in it. So we have.
This, I mean, if this is the scores, this should be fine.
Yeah, so I just was letting you know why it took so long. But I'm not obviously going to put anything out right now because.
All right, I do have scores to report after the first game up here.
Can you just bring us one for every game?
Yeah, I figured that I was going to put one for you and then one for back here.
We've got Sean Lavery and AJ Chapman are your leaders right now. Sean bowled 260, AJ bowled 264. They bowled 524. Stubblefield and Sachs we saw in game number 1 right here on our stream. They bowled 279 and 235. That's 514. Nate Garcia and Michael Martell had 511, 246 and 265 respectively. Tyler Corbin and Brian Kramer had 502.
Brian Kramer is the Greater All Events winner this year.
Oh,
so
is he? Okay.
He knows how to strike in this building.
Dimitri Cruz and Nick Crummell had 502 as well. Lee Briscoe and Cody Wilson had 499. Rick Justice and Sam Swinford had 497. Casey Murphy and Austin Bolds had 493. Kind of weird, you know, you're not bowling with Casey.
He doesn't like to bowl with me.
It's kind of, but you were like, I remember 10 years ago, he's like, I got this kid. I got this kid. He's going to be awesome, this lefty.
We still bowl a lot together. It's still my partner in crime, but you know, I got the pleasure to be friends with a lot of super good bowlers, and he never argues when I'm like, hey, I'm bowling with Anthony Simonson at this doubles event. He's like, good, you should. So the year we bowled this the first year together, and then Chris Vi was supposed to come down and we were going to do a clinic. So I was like, we can just bowl together. And then he was like, I can't argue that. He just won the U.S. Open. And then whenever Chris couldn't make it last minute, you know, Casey had found another partner with Austin, and they're just sticking together. And I'm okay with that.
And they bowl good together.
They bowled really good. They got like third last year, I think, right?
Yeah.
Third, fourth. So
Tommy Hess 258, Eddie Bird 199. I'm sure Eddie will bounce back from that.
Yeah.
Ryan Scott had 169, 236 for Victor, and there is Steve Weimer clearing the deadwood.
60-plus years old.
Yep, and that's how you do it. Right on down the cap with a slight jog.
Great balance.
Not even close to the edge at all.
Nope, not once. Even though I get annoyed every time he runs down there. We'll be bowling travel league here, and he'll be to the pair to the left of me, and we'll get a deadwood, and he'll start to run down there, and I'll say, stop, I'm throwing a ball at it. He just likes to do things the right way.
Yep. I remember when I was a
Brooklyn?
porter / customer service representative, whatever you want to call it. I used to book it down there when I was 16. Man, top speed.
Oh, yeah. All the youngsters, every time we go like to tour events and the youngsters are working, they fly down the gutter caps.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's fly. I can tell you, Broken Arrow in Tulsa, the Tulsa area, all the workers that work there, they run 4-3 40-yard dashes to go get deadwoods. It's incredible.
Zach Wilkins, he's bowling now, isn't he?
I think so.
Or no, next squad. Who's he bowling with? Sorry, I just had a question about that.
No, he's
No,
bowling
next
their
squad. Next squad. Yep, you're right. What else do we have a question here on? Is the pro shop open right now? Laughing out loud. They were wondering if the pro shop is open.
Pro shop's open. Open. Come on in. Joe some bowling balls. Mike, will you text me your email so that we can get that sent to you?
It's Mike at InsideBowling.com.
Okay, I'll send that to him.
Yeah, I can send it to you if you need to copy it.
Pro shop is open. Ronnie Gilmore's in there ready for anyone that wants to spend money.
Yeah, we're working on the scores, everybody. We'll get that out to you. We'll get in a little groove here. It takes a little bit. What's the key to a good doubles partner?
Chemistry. That's my first answer.
Yeah.
Obviously, the obvious answer is like the best bowler you can get. But I wouldn't even agree with that. I would rather bowl with someone that I have more fun with and I connect with a little better on the lanes, because that will naturally make you bowl better. If you're bowling with someone you don't really know personally and you're kind of quiet to each other and, whatever, you might not quite be as dialed in. If you're bowling with a good friend, you guys are going to want it for each other a little bit more. You're going to have more fun. You're not going to be overthinking as much. So I'm all about bowling with people that, like to engage and talk with me, even if they're bowling bad.
Yeah.
Don't be in a bad mood. Like, you're going to bowl bad. I'm going to bowl bad. It's fine.
Yeah, you need to be in a good mood. You also, if you're going to spend 6-7 hours with a person, and then possibly more if you make the cut, you want to make sure that those hours on the weekend are important.
Yes, definitely.
You should have black shorts, Tom.
Yeah, you messed up.
Black
Black
shorts
shorts
with
would have
that.
been it.
Yeah.
It would have been
Tom,
perfect.
Tom just came over. He got the word from Sue. No.
It's because he cares.
Yeah. I just want Tom to look good.
It's because he cares. I mean, he is only averaging 270.
He's a spokesperson
He's averaging
for our
270.
sport. Yeah, I mean, he's a spokesperson for bowling. He should color code. Right?
Whatever works, though.
Real quick, here he is.
Go ahead and tell us, chat. Black shorts would have looked better, right?
Yeah.
It would have gone with the sleeves.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Black.
It would have looked great.
He doesn't look bad.
Yeah, we're not saying it was a bad choice, but it could have been a better choice.
Right.
Look good, feel good,
Yeah.
right?
Like he could average 260 with one bowling ball, but doesn't mean it's the right bowling ball. He could average 270 with a different ball.
You're not wrong.
Right? That's the same thing on these khaki shorts.
You're not
That's
wrong.
it.
He does have 63 pins out there that he could have. And
I
if he had
know.
black shorts,
I
he
know.
could have had those
I
63
know.
pins.
He'd had back-to-back 300s if he had black shorts on.
He would have missed 0 times if he had black shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pretty interesting news here this week. The jersey companies are now going to have a little competition out on tour.
Yes. Yes.
What's he got on sock-wise?
For people that don't really know.
That's okay. That's all right.
If people don't really know, High Five has been the jersey sponsor on tour for a while now. And they have been exclusive
yeah.
them. And, talking with the Players Committee and us on tour and stuff like that, they have opened it up to everyone, any jersey company, to be a sponsor on tour and to be able to wear those jerseys, because there's a lot of guys on tour that have contracts with, Coolwick and all these other different jersey companies, Chameleon and whatever it is. But when we get on tour, we can't wear those jerseys. So now those companies have the opportunity to let those players that they have on contract wear them on the telecast and things like that. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Let everyone eat in the industry. With that being said, I need to find a jersey company. I don't have one.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. How all that's going down.
Yeah, I don't think, bowling is still such a small knit community that, you got to be able to let everyone get theirs, not shut each other out, work a little better. But we'll see. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It lets other brands grow, gives them equal opportunity. All right, some of these scores up here. There's some people striking. Sean Lavery and A.J. Chapman, I think they were leading after one. They were.
Yes, they were.
They're 70 over and 100 over. So they're 181 over after two.
Is it keeping the scores up there?
Yeah, it's keeping their plus and minus.
Okay, all right.
So they're 181 over. So they only had about 460. But just looking up and seeing 180 over, 150 over, 130 over for the teams. So as you expect, whenever the pattern's easy, everyone get theirs early on. When they're not transitioning, they're not getting too funky. That's when people start striking. That's when you see a lot of the 250s, 260s, the team 500s. But as we get to that back half, they will go down a little bit, not drastically.
Question here in the chat are Brad and Kyle bowling. Brad just played in a poker tournament and won the damn thing.
Oh, he won
for like $8,000 yesterday.
Sick.
He's been playing some poker lately.
Yep.
And
he cashed at the World Series of poker.
And Kyle was a late withdrawal, from what I understand. I think he's dealing with little injury stuff. Yep.
Same problem he's been having. And that's how Packy, Hanrahan, and Anthony Lavery became partners. I'm already seeing it. Some people's ball reactions, I'm already seeing their balls just get a little lazy down lane, a little bit of carry down. I think it's going to be tricky to carry the back half. It's not going to be hard to hit the hole, but getting your ball to get through the pins the right way, it's going to be a trick. Like you see on 30 right there, the light mixer, kind of a weird hit. The ball just didn't want to keep going down lane. I'm seeing that pretty quickly from a lot of people, so now the good ones are
coming in
out.
For Game 3, we got Casey Murphy and Austin Bolds bowling with John Ralston and Bobby Bonds. And then right next door, we have Jen Meske, formerly Helfer Stay, as I mentioned on the Open, and Lauren Russo or Lauren Pate, whichever name she's going by this week, and Nate Garcia, Michael Martell.
Oh, and 1 on 24.
After game number 1, Martell and Garcia bowled 511. And what are they at now here?
They're at
plus
120 and 100. I can't see what Martell's at.
I know, it's a little different. 180 maybe?
A lot.
Are they like 300 over?
That would be a lot if they're 300 over.
Yeah, that can't be.
There's no way.
No.
But maybe. But I doubt it, but maybe.
Let's see. How is
there it is, a little wrap 7. Only frame 1, but when scores are this easy, it's not as much about, it's more about max ball reaction and pin carry than anything.
Did Hess start with 79, 79?
He has 137 over, so he had 68 the second game.
Oh, 68, okay. Yep, thank you. Let's see. Tim Barron had 2-0, A.J. Rice 259 the first game. Jen had 200, Lauren Pate 247, which means Jen bowled 230 the second game.
That means Tim shot 230 the second game, and A.J. had 260. 260 or 270.
Yep.
Exact math. It's early, guys. I don't want to do that kind of work. You get the gist.
We went with red theme this year. Last year it was blue. Went with red, and now the monitors are matching in game number 3, which is kind of nice for the visuals here on the screen.
It looks good. Nate Garcia up on 27. Throwing the heater. Dead up 12.
Cortez Shank goes and wins the New Mexico Open, and now we got people asking for him in the chat.
Yeah, I want to say someone was thinking about bowling with him, and then they didn't bowl. He's not on the roster. He's not bowling, unfortunately. But that kid is a good bowler. It's not a secret either. Everyone knows it. Casey picks up the 3-6 on lane 30. Casey knows this bowling center better than anyone, maybe besides Steve Weimer, and probably besides even more than Steve Weimer, because he's probably got a spreadsheet on every lane and every board of every game ever, because he is the biggest analyst of all things ever.
Oh, Tom Hess does have a fan in here today. It's a Ryobi fan.
Flat 7 from Bobby Bonds, or flat 10 from Bobby Bonds. I think we're going to see a lot of hits like that where people start off a game, strike spare, strike spare, strike spare because they can't quite get the ball through the pins, and then they got to throw the 7-bagger to back it off with a good game.
Pugman says he can feel his temperature rising. Isn't that a song? I saw your post this week talking about when you won your title you weren't in the greatest, healthiest mental state at the time.
Yeah.
But right now, you're feeling really good about everything that's going on.
Yeah. You know, I like to be as positive and motivating as I can without being cheesy on social media. And I know a lot of people appreciate that, and a lot of people reach out to me saying, thank you, I needed to hear something like that, or they'll ask me, some advice and stuff. So I woke up 5:30 in the morning, went to the gym. After I left the gym, I just kind of, I don't know if I saw a picture or something from my tour title, but I looked terrible, if I'm being honest. But it just kind of like reflected a little bit that morning. Was like, you know what? I didn't think I'd be where I am mentally, physically today compared to. And I like to shed light on those things sometimes. I don't have to go into details, but I can tell people like, hey, we've all been there. We've all been through struggles. We're all going through dark times. And when you're in those times, you always feel like you'll never get out of them. You always feel like it's never going to get better. It's only going to get worse. I'll feel this for the rest of my life. Even if in the back of your mind you're like, there's no way I could, but it just feels that way. And so sometimes I just like to shed light and let people know, hey, I've been there just like you're probably there now. You just got to stay the course and trust that you're going to get better. And I know a lot of people always appreciate to hear things like that, and they always reach out. So I like to be transparent with stuff like that now, especially with just the process of life. Bowling is a little tougher than a lot of other professions when it comes to it's you doing your thing by yourself, and when you're not bowling good and like your career's not going in the direction you want it to, and it's not as guaranteed as your 9-to-5 jobs and stuff, it gets hard out here. So, and people don't fully understand that. So shedding light on that and understanding that, hey, we go through our struggles, but we're going to get through them just like you guys will as well. And I just like for people to be motivated and know that they're not alone with whatever it is they're going through. So, and I don't make those posts to brag and be like, oh, I'm in super shape now because I've been working out. It's not that. It's the bigger picture of, sending that message. So.
Well, I've called you at least once, maybe twice, about something I want you to do.
Yes. Yes, you have.
And I haven't liked the energy I've gotten back on that, to be honest with you.
I know. There's something about those shows. I told you they seem a little gimmicky to me.
And I'll tell everybody at home what that is. I think Kevin should try out for America's Got Talent, and there's a few reasons why. Number one, I love the show. I've always been a big fan of Simon Cowell. Anything he's a part of, I've always loved it. I think you have a gift. I think you have a gift as a human being, more so than even your talent, actually. And I'm always rooting for people that have that extra spark, that extra sparkle, that extra.
The X factor.
Yeah, the little bit of it. Some people call it it, right?
Yep.
I can only imagine what you could do for bowling and yourself if all of a sudden I'm watching AGT and they're like, I see you walking out on that stage. Okay? I don't think you'd have, like, I think people would fall in love with your personality.
Right.
And then they do that little back feature story on you, right? You know how they always
and
show
they're
a
like
little
bowler, and everyone's like, what?
Bowler,
Yeah.
and he's
I
music
don't disagree.
and this, right? And I would be watching that, and I would probably start crying out of joy that this is happening within our industry and for you, right?
Yeah. No, I agree.
And then even just being on that stage, whether you get an X or whatever, I don't know, but you'd figure it out.
Yeah, I would thrive in that position.
Okay, and you go up and you have the creative sense that you would sing an original, and that's
Yes.
like a big deal on that show now.
Yeah.
It's not covers, it's
Yeah.
originals.
Yeah.
And with the positive, you could do a positive message thing.
Yep.
I mean, a poet won the damn show 2 years ago.
That's
a guy that
awesome.
just came out and just spit poetry.
Yeah.
In a time that it's needed. I think you send a good message. I think you could do something good for yourself, for bowling, for everything. I think you'd increase your amount of downloads on Spotify. And who knows? You could get a break and start making some money and being able to do what you love to do, which I forget the quote, but it's if you can do what you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I think it is, right?
Yep.
And, there's opportunities out there like a show like that. And you know what? If you didn't make it through to this,
Then
but
so
at least you
what?
tried.
Yeah, no, I
You know what I
agree.
mean?
I'm on the same page with you. I just need to do it.
I just feel like it'd be cool. And if you wanted help writing a song or something, or you wanted to run it by me, because I am a reality show guru. I've got 15 years plus experience in watching reality shows, talent shows. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. When Carrie Underwood walked out and she gave her first one, I immediately said she's winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now, that was kind of obvious. But, Bo Bice was pretty good that year. Like, I am a reality. I mean, I could tell you damn near every singer on every
guru.
show, where they finished, who won each year.
That doesn't surprise
All
me
that.
at all. You and your weird niches that you have.
Mm-hmm. Matt Farber said, Flanagan's good at everything that doesn't matter.
That is so true.
I'm good at everything that doesn't matter.
It's so funny. I see videos of, like, people do, like, interviews on the street for YouTube and stuff now, and they'll have sports ones where it's like you're just talking sports with people, and so many people know the history about sports.
Yep.
Someone sees you on the street, and they're like, in 2008, who won America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
And you just rail them off immediately.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
got fourth place?
Yeah.
That is so funny. That is
So anyway,
hilarious.
so now that you're on this positive karma thing, and you're feeling good and you're in a better spot now, I'd love for you to try out.
You know what?
I don't even know how
I'm
you
gonna,
do it,
I'm
but
going to look into it. I don't
should.
either, but I bet I can find out how.
I think it'd be great.
Anyways, enough about reality TV, back to real life. So as I was saying, might get tricky to carry for a little bit, and that people might not double through the first 5 frames. Casey Murphy, strike, spare, strike, spare, strike. Austin Bold, spare, strike, spare, spare. So now, with the scores as high as they are, they need to find themselves a 5-6 bagger so they can shoot 470, 480, and not lose any ground to those top teams. So it was just a lucky call for me, but
So you're cashing 1 and 4.
1 and 4.
And you think you're going to have about 115 teams
yeah, around
total, or entries, I should say.
there. Close to it, yeah.
So what do you think a number would be? What do you think a number would need to be?
Oh my goodness! Someone asked me, like, what was the number last year, and come on, guys, don't set me up for failure like that. I don't know. So let me do some quick math.
Are you
on my
thinking like
calculator.
400 over?
That's 200 a guy. 200 a guy, 7 games. That's about 230, 228. I would say 400 over is a pretty good guess. I would say so. I was thinking like 229 a guy is going to make the number. So that's pretty close.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 400.
I mean, you've seen this type of tournament enough and called scores enough to know that you see the pace now, it won't stay there.
No.
It won't. It just won't stay there because right now, we got top 10 is at 490. It's 245 a guy.
Yeah, it will not stay there.
Nate Garcia and Michael Martell are striking. Still don't know what Michael shot game 2 because we can't quite see what his total is up there on his plus. I just can't quite tell. But it looks like plus a lot. And if so, then they've missed about twice a piece. And, as they are right now, too. So they are striking. But the ladies on the pair are also striking because Lauren has the front 5 looking for the front 6. She just won the singles event at Tim Burrant Southside Doubles last weekend. The ladies keeping up with the boys, the fellas. As she just flat 10s, and I somewhat cloud her on the front 5. Still, I'd start every game with the front 5. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
I watched Prather Bowl last night, the 300 games that he had. And when he bowls here today, everybody, when you watch Prather, he's going to be throwing it so straight.
And so hard.
He's throwing it like
Flamethrower.
up 10. He's borrowing the second arrow better than anybody I've ever seen. I mean, today
Flamethrowing
it's
it.
going to be fun to watch because he is just right up underneath the ball and is just
He has the best one-handed mechanics on the planet Earth.
Yeah, he really
and
does.
no one can argue that with me.
Yeah,
You can't show me someone that has better mechanics. There's people that are close, obviously. There's so many people that throw good, but Chris's mechanics are flawless. Sean Lavery has the front 8 on 31 and 2. As you can kind of see them off to the right there where Casey's at, just the lane over.
Mm-hmm.
As Casey gets his first double. He's got 260 left. Austin has 259 left. They're going to need pretty much all those so that way they can kind of move up the ladder a little bit. As Nate's giving him the hard one. Nate's playing about the same part of the lane as Prather was the first couple. Pretty hard in the track. You know, there's a little bit more of a puddle than usual here at about 9 to 12. So you can kind of get into that tube and just let it lay there. It'll find its way to the 1-3. As we talked about Eddie Bird the last game, kind of struggled the first half and then he found it the back half. He did the same thing. He just threw the back 7 for 238.
Yep.
And Tom can shoot 228. Light mixer for Austin. See, when scores are high like this, you gotta really pay attention to how your ball's going through the pins. For the people that saw that shot that Austin Ball just threw, just a little light mixture, kind of a funky hit. He got him to fall, but you got to make a mental note of that's probably not going to hit again. You got to make that move. You got to get that ball to get the face up just a little bit differently, so you don't get tapped and leave some light mixture 7 or weird light 4 pin. Because those hits matter when scores are higher like this, you know. You're giving yourself 3 hits a game. As we have game 2 scores in.
We do, and I actually have a way to bring them on the screen also.
Perfect.
So I'm going to bring them up for a second, get away from the action.
Well, Michael and Nate did shoot exactly what we were unsure that they would shoot. Because they had 569 game 2.
Yeah, so there you go. You've got them leading right now at plus 280, right?
Perfect. Yes, sir.
And then Corbin and Kramer, 225 over.
Those are my horsies. I got them in the Calcutta.
Nice. Cruz and Crummel at 204. Justice and Swinford at 196. Kern and Taylor at 186. Lavery and Chapman at 181. Stubblefield and Sachs at 177. Crow and Morris at 167. Barrett and Rice at 161. Murphy and Bolds at 155. Breedlove and Breedlove at 152. Aldrich and Resnick at 144. Pierce and Cooley at plus 130. And I'm going to scroll through the rest of these, everybody. And then you can always go back on YouTube and scroll back and look at the scores. But for now, I'm just going to kind of roll through these, through all of the scores here, and then we'll get back to the action.
So it's safe to say that game 2 scores definitely slowed down. A couple teams still crushed them. The 569 is way up there. There's a 513, but you know, some 460s, some 450s by guys that were bowling pretty good the first game. So switching that pair to someone that you're following and seeing how they broke down the lanes for game 1, running into a little bit of transition, losing a couple of hits a game. That'll bring those scores down. But right now, 10th is at 155. 155. 470 a game. About 235 a guy-ish. So, 400 is a good guess for the number. I'm going to say 412. That's what's coming to me. 412 is my number.
412, okay.
Yeah, I'm saying 412. I was going to say 416 because 16 is my favorite number, but it wasn't calling to me like 412 was. As Austin looking for a 3-bagger. And he washes out. I think they're going to get a little tricky. I think they're going to get trickier than I usually see the center. This is one of the higher scoring centers. Like I said, there's just free friction here. Any pattern you put out, if I ever put out a tour pattern to practice on here, which I never do, but if I ever do, they play way easier than they actually are just because the outside part of the lane here is always going to hook, so it just makes them a little simpler. But I think they're going to get a little funky the last couple games here. I could be wrong. I probably will be. But that's just what I'm thinking. Austin's going to pick up this washout. He's going to stick at the foul line. He's going to have terrible balance. And he's going to ace it. Oh, he dead. He dead. Oh, that's a bad break. I've bowled many events with Austin Bolds. I love Austin. We used to bowl a PBA regional doubles event together. And for 3 years that we bowled it, I think our worst finish was third. He's a super good bowler. Super nice. As Nate gets up, looking for 8 in a row. They are striking. Our leaders are going to lead by more. Let me tell you now. Because they had 5'11", 570 for 2. And they are not slowing down even in the slightest. They have 550 left this game. So they can go 569, 550 for game 2-3. As that and one just misses on 29. We're going to see a lot of those 220 games where it's double 9 spare, 3-bagger, 9 spare, double 9 spare, 220. Lauren Page striking. She's got 270. Jen has 250 left. The ladies doing their thing. What place were they in? Were they bowling okay?
I think they were on the first line of page 2, I think.
First line of page 2.
So they're on the back here.
Oh, I was like, man, we don't have many teams.
Or I thought they were up there. There they are.
Close. Okay, so they're at 120 over. And if you look at 5th, they're 150 over, 10th. And they've got a little 530 out there left. Martell and Nate are striking like crazy. Push. Oh. Late fall of the 9 for Casey. That's a 4-bagger. He's got 260 left. Austin looking to bounce back from that washout. Yeah, just an errant shot. Nate's got the ball reaction. He didn't like that one that much. Kind of stuck. Missed in a little bit, but the right miss. Playing them the right way. First one in the 10th. He's looking for 290. That's almost maximum points. The teams that can play him straighter in the tube, I think they're going to be the teams that crush him. Because Nate throwing it 100 at like 12. Jen, not throwing it super hard, but she's about at 10. The guys that are kind of staying a little more in front of them, and girls, definitely have the better ball reaction, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
As Austin leaves that 8-pin. See that hit? I called it last time on that lane. A little light mixer, and if you don't get your ball through the pins, he's going to get tapped, and he leaves that light 8-pin that next shot. So you really got to pay more attention when they're easier. You got to pay more attention about how your ball goes through the pins versus how it gets there, because it's going to get there pretty similar for the most part, because they're just not super hard, unless you're just not matching up. But most people are going to be able to get to the hole. But when it gets to the hole, how is it going through those pins? As Nate gets the second one in the 10th, he's going to shoot 290 if he strikes. So Nate goes 246, 279, possible 290. Martell has 260, 290, and he's got 260 or 270 left. So they won't be re-entering because they came down and asked. He's like, "Can you put me down for the re-entry squad?" And I said, "Just let me know after if you guys don't bowl very good." He's not going to have to let me know after.
Yeah, I don't think so.
As he fast 8s. And he seems upset that he shot 288. What a tough world. You dang bowlers. It's never enough. It's never enough. I think lane 30 is a little tighter than lane 29. And I think that's always a characteristic here at Enterprise Park lanes, because I just haven't seen too many guys get a ball to flush up on the right lane as much as the left. Besides Austin's errant shot with the washout.
We do have some folks that were wondering what the pattern is, and I'm about to put the pattern up on the screen for the first time.
Yeah. Bang. Lawyered. House shot. It is. It's modified house. And So we just got some with a little more volume so it can hold up for 7 games. You know, we got a lot of guys here with rev rate. We don't want them lofting the ball game 3 because this place does hook a little bit more. As I just get notified that Cameron Coe shot 300. That is maximum points. Did you know that?
Yeah.
In this game, the max points you get is 300.
I did hear a 304 last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was some handicap stuff going on as well.
Yeah, Pharrell Williams got some pins, and people didn't like that, so we took his pins away, and then he was like, yeah, tell him to quit complaining. And he bowled sick. You know, you'll never hear me complain about handicap. Even if I get whooped by a handicap or a sandbag or whatever, I don't complain about that. It just is what it is, you know? It's there for a reason. But no handicap today because this is all scratch, so that 300 points was done by himself. He didn't have any handicap for that. As Michael looking to get the second one in the 10th for 270 points. It's so funny. All my friends are not bowlers. I didn't grow up a bowler. So all my friends are basketball players and football players and things like that. So when they talk bowling, they talk like a non-bowler. And they say, like, let's go play bowling. Or, you know. And so now, like, I say that ironically and I talk like a non-bowler. But now it's just, like, stuck in my brain. I always say, like, what's your point total? And I always sound goofy saying it. It's just, like, embedded in my brain now.
You know, Kevin told me, I'm speaking as one of your friends. you know, Kevin told me one day, you know, the reason why sometimes the pros don't bowl good is because they grease them differently.
Exactly. Yeah.
They grease them differently. Kevin was telling me something about, you know, sometimes they grease them with oil and parts of the lane that makes it really hard for guys to bowl good.
You don't just throw it down the middle.
And sometimes they grease them up, you know, so they're more easier for the guys.
Exactly.
You know. I'm just speaking like one of your friends.
Exactly. I love it.
You know,
I'm speaking like a non-bowler.
I in high school, you know, everybody knew me as the bowling guy.
Yeah.
And trust me, it didn't necessarily help my street cred, but
No, it doesn't.
no. But one time they were asking me, hey, you know, they said over the loudspeaker that, you know, you were #1 average in the conference. You know, congratulations and everything. You know, what's one of the hardest things about bowling? I said, well, I'll tell you the hardest is, you know, this season I led the league in average, but dude, when we had to bowl outdoors, that was really difficult. I said, they said, really? I said, yeah. I said, because the hardest thing is getting your footing outdoors. So my bowling cleats were very, very difficult to get right, but I finally got it right. And
that is so funny.
And they thought I was.
Yeah, they have no clue.
Yeah, they thought I was serious.
They have no clue.
Yeah, bowling.
The
cleats.
amount of people that don't even know there's oil on the lane, it's a lot higher percentage than you would think.
Yeah.
It's crazy. When someone asks me how many, like, do you have, for one, a non-bowler thinks that league is professional bowling. So when someone asks me, what do you do for a living? I'm like, oh, I'm a professional bowler. Like, so what, you're like in a league? I'm like, well, I am, but that's not quite it. So everyone thinks that league is just like the most serious thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever showed up to league, you'd realize everyone's just there to drink and socialize with their friends and you know, get some activity in. But man, the non-bowlers, they don't know that there's oil on the lanes. They ask me how many bowling balls they have, and I give them like 30 bowling balls. They're like, why do you need that many bowling balls? Don't you just throw one? I'm like, do you go to a golf course and you just hit your 7-iron the whole day?
Right.
You know, it's funny. But I used to hate having that conversation, and now I love to, like, you know, fill people in on how people are genuinely intrigued that don't know anything about bowling when I tell them, like, some of the logistics of what it's like to be a professional bowler. Like, I didn't know it was like that at all.
How about bowling 521 and your pair mates?
How about
beat you
bowling
by 30?
558, and that's not even your high game today?
I know. They are just running away.
They
right
are
now.
crushing them.
Through 3 games.
Hey, Nate, I won't put you on the re-entry squad. I think you're good. I won't put you on the re-entry squad. I think you're okay. I don't want to jinx you because you got 4 games to go, but I think you're okay.
So Nate bowled 246, 279, and bowled what the last game?
288.
Okay, so he bowled. Did he get to 800?
Yep. Like 810.
813 it looks like.
Yep, and then so did Martel. Martel had 60, 90, 60. Or 58 maybe?
So he was 55 over, and what he just
Or
bowled?
68?
Yes, they both bowl 800 to start.
It's ridiculous. But they're good bowlers, you know. Some people might complain about, man, those scores are too high. I can never argue about two good bowlers bowling high scores, you know. Yeah, they're easy, but they're also, you gotta throw a shot. You gotta see what ball motion you need.
I'm going to bring it in here for just a second, just to let everybody know who's here. This is me. I'm Mike. This is the concourse behind me, and this is Kevin.
I'm Kevin.
And the pro shop is right there. You spend time in there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I work in the shops when
Yeah.
I'm not on the road.
Yeah, I thought that you did.
Drill up some bowling balls for some people, a.k.a. I just drill all my own stuff and just sit around like I'm doing something. Just look pretty.
Game 4 is coming up next.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes.
Got all the bracket payout stuff is over there.
Bathrooms back
Yep,
here as
yep,
well.
Yeah. Folks are taking care of business there right now. Yeah.
We're moving
Drinking
quickly.
fountains, if you need something to drink. Got that right back there
We're
as well.
moving fairly fast. What time did we start at? 10:45.
You start at 9:15 is when bowling actually started for score. So it's a half-hour game.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All the scores are moving with everybody. It looks good.
So now we got Cody Aldrich bowling with Tony Resnick, Cam Crow, who just bowled 300, bowling with Jarrell Morris. We got Tyler Corbin bowling with Brian Kramer, Ryan Spear, and Ashton Yamaski.
Tyler Corbin and Brian Kramer. They bowl on our Greater Ozarks Open team with me and Casey Murphy and Jason Britton. We won the team event 2 years ago, and then Brian Kramer won all events this year.
Do you ever have anybody call you up for this tournament and you don't know who they are?
For the doubles event?
Yeah, just like a team, like be like, you know, somebody just calls you up and says, "Hey, yeah, I'm Larry Smith, and I want to bowl with Frank Frank Sinadri."
Yeah, definitely.
And you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we'd love to have you," and you have no idea who the hell they are.
When, you know, at one point in time we had 109 teams on the roster, and I was looking at the roster and I was like, there is a lot of teams, people I just have never seen their name before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, that's not a bad thing. Then they no-show me, and I'm like, well, it is a bad thing,
Yeah,
apparently.
it is, yeah. Holiday doubles is kind of that way for me. Like, you know, I go back to St. Louis every year, walk into the room, you assume to see the same people.
And it's like, who is all these
But
people?
there's like 30% of the field is new every year, and then or coming back from a few years past. Even though the tournament's full every year, it's like there's a rotating door of like 520 bowlers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep. Well, when you got the biggest doubles event in the nation, you're going to just keep getting new faces, and that's the goal, right?
Yeah, Jerry added another squad this year too.
Amazing.
I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I got to figure that out. When is it? Is it Thursday night or something?
Friday morning.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Or Friday at noon. It's before the Friday night squad, so I don't know the exact time.
I don't even, like, honestly.
I'll get you in touch with the right guy.
I stream so many tournaments, I don't even remember.
I'll get you in touch with the right guy.
All I know is I used to set up on Friday. I thought we were already streaming at noon on Friday.
No. Friday night squad.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Friday night squad and 2 Saturday squads?
So I need to look this up for you.
God, I can't even remember.
I'm looking it up for you because I don't know.
So now I'm streaming Friday at noon.
Let's see here.
He didn't even consult me, but I see it. He goes, "Hey, by the way, you don't have to stream that one if you don't want to."
Really?
I'm like, that's kind of weird.
I know, right? You're streaming that one, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
You are the one that makes that decision. Okay, so there's 5 squads. So there's 3. Is there 3 or 2 on?
there's 2 on Saturday, I
So
believe.
there is 2.
So when's
so
the new? When's
confused.
the new one? When's the new one? Is it Thursday
Wednesday
night?
morning.
I'm telling you, I think it's like Thursday or something.
I thought it was Friday morning. I don't see the post for it. I just see.
It might be Friday morning. Maybe it used to be.
Okay, so
Yeah. What do we got?
A squad, it doesn't say. Oh, noon on Friday. So it's got to be Friday morning. Noon on Friday, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. So it's got to be Friday morning.
Yeah, but what time on Friday
I
morning?
mean, I gotta read the posts.
Because it's got to be before 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
to bowl that many games
Yeah.
and get it in because the squad starts at noon. It's 5 squads now.
Confirmations, nays. Yeah, it's 5 total squads, all full too.
So is it a Thursday? Honestly, I don't even remember.
It doesn't. The original post he made, it didn't say. Now I'm just determined to find it, but I don't see.
Somebody in the chat knows.
Someone help. Yeah, come on, chat. We need it.
Okay, Corcus is helping us out. Friday at 8 a.m.
Yes. Okay. See, I said Friday morning.
So what that's going to require for me now
It's Thursday night.
is I have to go set up on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you're the best in the biz, baby.
No, it's fine. But I mean, I used to set up Friday morning.
Yeah. Don't worry. 10 years from now, you'll be setting up Monday morning.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You're going to have 4 billion bowlers. The most coverage ever covered in a inside bowling event will be the 2035 inside bowling coverage.
8
of holiday
a.m.
doubles. 8 a.m.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'll figure it out.
Of course you will. That's why you're the best in the biz. All right, bowling. Bowling in front of us. Brian Kramer trips out the 4 late on the 4-9. He's going to start out spare. They are about 300 over, right? For 3, it says 148. It's a little blurry, but it looks like they're about 300 over, which is a great score. It's 100 a game.
It is.
It seems like when you bowl on house shot events like this, everyone's plus minus is 250. Like 500 is a good game.
Yep.
So I'll take 300 over after 3. Nate Garcia's gone 9 spare, 9. So
That's that bathroom, man. You go to the bathroom, you come out, you can't carry.
mess up the mojo a little bit.
You got to go back to the bathroom. That's happening right in front of us on 33 and 34, everybody.
Yes, it is. I'm just keeping my eye on the leader because they are putting up huge numbers. To shoot 825, 813 the first 3 with your doubles partner, that's nice. They're already above. If they go even, they'll make the cut. If they go even the next 4, they'd make the cut, I think.
Folks, those of you that are asking about the standings, they are not posted anywhere yet. I did go over them at the end of the last squad after I have game 3. I believe I'm going to get a tweet up on that. But the standings are kind of hard to post because it's like 5 pages.
Mm-hmm. Just post the first one.
So, yeah, I probably will just post the main page.
Tyler Corbin doubles up early on lane 30. Tyler is the most unassuming bowler. The beauty of bowling, in my opinion, is that you can see someone and you could be like, if you didn't know who they were, you could be like, I'll bowl that guy for any amount of money. And there's so many people that you would say that and they would whoop you. Tyler just kind of has different mechanics. Doesn't look like a guy that could strike, and he can strike like crazy, and he is the nicest human on planet Earth. I love Tyler Corbin. That's Pookie to me.
Hey, real quick, I was curious what you thought of this year's thumbnail.
I loved it.
Does it look all right?
Yeah.
Does that look all right?
I hate my facial hair, but, it's cool. That's fine.
You don't like the facial hair at the time?
No, I got rid of it again.
It's not bad. It's
No,
not
it's
bad.
fine. I like it. It looks good. It looks good. Cody Aldridge with a little 3-bagger. Cody Aldridge works at Grand Prix in St. Louis. That is our distributor. Comes into the pro shop needing to buy something. He goes, do I get that Grand Prix pricing? That's a big no, sir. It's Cameron Crowe. Big strike on 28. Cameron Crowe, if you guys remember watching last year, bowled with Nate Stubler, who couldn't make it this year last minute. They had what was one of the craziest matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, with
and we got to call it live
Tim.
with Shay and Tim, where they could have gotten up there to double to shut out Shay and Tim, who they had them dead in the water early on, and they stuff an 8-pin, second ball in the 10th, and Shay gets up there and goes pack, pack, pack for them to win and get to the finals. It was such a sick match to watch. So this year, Cam is bowling with Jarrell Morris. Those two are staying at my house, so they don't know yet, but I will inform them that I get 3% of whatever they make.
Oh, that's nice. I thought it'd be a little higher.
I don't need to get rich off them.
eBay charges 13%.
Should I go up to 13%? I'm not eBay. I'm just Kevin,
8.
I'm Geebay.
I'd go
Here you go.
8%.
You want to read those off? You're the professional.
Yeah, let me see if I've got them over here too. Probably do. I do.
Wow, look at them go.
Because that's what they do.
You know why? Because my team here is the best. They're doing their thing. I haven't had to lift a finger. CT and Jessica and Julie and Shane and all these people that are involved with getting this event going, they're the best.
All right, everybody, we're going to break away from the action for a moment, and I'm going to bring the standings up on the screen. This is where you can screenshot or reverse back and take a look at all of the standings. So here we go. Nate Garcia and Michael Martell.
Jeez.
400.
That's just crazy to see.
And 38 over.
That's crazy.
813 and 825 to start. And then from there, we've got Rick Justice and Sam Swinford. They're 309 over, followed by Tyler Corbin and Brian Kramer at 294. Tim Kern and Chris Taylor at 293. Sean Lavery and A.J. Chapman, 286. They bowled 524, 457, and 505. Cam Crow with that 300 game opens up with 783. Jarrell had 691. They are 274 over. Tim Barron and A.J. Rice. A.J. had 770 to start. Tim was 693, 266 over. Mesky and Pate, the two ladies currently right now. We just saw them bowl 521 right here on the stream. They're plus 241. Dimitri Cruz and Nick Crummell now 231 over. Aldrich and Resnick at 228. At 226 is Smith and Leescamp. Stubblefield and Sachs are plus 218. Pierce and Cooley at plus 210. Casey Murphy and Austin Bolds at 205. Breedlove and Breedlove at 201. Burns and Baumgartner at 181. Along with Bate and Harper. Bird and Hess at 179. O'Brien, Sapolis, 165. Briscoe and Wilson, 162. And I'll let you take a look at the rest of the teams as I scroll through here. As we have all scores in through 3 games on A squad. And then we start getting into the B squad teams right there. So there you go. You can scroll back if you want to look at that. Again, we're going to head back out to the lanes now.
So we've ran this event for 2 years, and there's been a common theme. In the 2 years that we've ran this event, there has been one name that has won with a different partner the first 2 years, and that's Frankie Love.
Yep.
He just texted me, and he said, whoever wins this weekend in Springfield better have an asterisk next to their name because I wasn't there. And I said, deal. And he said, unless it's you, you can have it, but everyone else, asterisk, which is hilarious because he has won the first 2 years with 2 completely different partners, but this year he couldn't make it. He is out overseas doing cool, fun things elsewhere. So he will not be able to three-peat.
No, he will not.
Cameron Crow picks up the 7-pin. I bowled with Cam at Swiss Trios in Wichita a couple weekends ago. We got second place. It was a good time. Tyler Corbin looking for a 4-bagger. Bang. He's good. It's a name that maybe not a lot of people know, but if you know him, you know that he's a good bowler. Jarrell, front 5. Oh, front 6. The lefty's striking a little bit. There's no lefties up at the top of the standings right now, besides Michael. Michael's crushing them. I say that. Jarrell and them, they're actually in 6th. I didn't see that they were bowling that good.
What's leading after 3?
438 over, Steve. Do you like that number? He hates it. He hates it. Steve Weimer is the proprietor here. And Steve Weimer's favorite event of the year is the Peterson. And if anyone knows, which everyone should know what the Peterson is, it's the hardest, most brutal event ever.
Is.
So seeing that we're hosting an event in his center, and the leaders are averaging 270 apiece after 3. I know he hates it, but he loves that people are here, so he'll suck it up.
Yeah, he does.
He's a traditionalist when it comes to, you know, the scores and stuff for the game. He hates two-handed lefties, a.k.a. me. But he pays me the big bucks. All right, halfway through game 4. Still a lot of strikes up there, but starting to see some of those 9 counts. 32, blower 7, 27. There was a little 4-pin. Cody's throwing at a 10-pin. I see the traits. I see that. Score's got to drop a little bit.
We got our first commentary shout out here. We got great chemistry. We've got a little comment here.
It's just natural, you know.
Yeah, I do remember some folks last year saying how well you did in the booth. I do remember that. It's Midwest guys, just chilling.
No, it's just easy. We just like to be.
It's like we're sitting here bowling this tournament together right now.
Exactly. We should have bowled together.
Yeah.
Let someone else do it. I would have bowled with you. Every time that I do the live stream, I always get people that say, like, you do really good. I'm just good at talking. That's all it is. I like to be a part of the center of attention. This is kind of like being some of the attention because we get to speak on things.
Yeah, we got good viewership, too. We got 500 people watching.
Good. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Absolutely.
We love it. We love it. Definitely helps us out.
This might be a good opportunity since we do have some good viewership and maybe some folks didn't get up as early this morning. We want to shout out and thank our sponsors. We want to thank our friends over at Ben Crazy. I kind of explained that business model. What a great group of folks over there running Ben Crazy.
It's amazing. They just opened a second location.
Did they really?
Yep, they're expanding. It's going great for them.
And Ben Crazy, again, if you weren't with me earlier, basically what they do is they purchase a bunch of closeout items, and they bring it in, and there's some really good stuff in there. And I think they start. What day do they open on? Is it Thursday?
Or
is it Friday?
I don't know exactly
it might be
what
Friday.
Day. Yeah.
They start on Friday, and they open at like
$10.
noon or something like that. It's $10, and then the next day it goes down by like $1.
Yep.
For like 4 days straight,
Yep.
and then they close for 2 days and restock, and then open it up again every week.
Yep. The most expensive item is $10. You just go in there, and it's been crazy. It's literally just bins of items. You just you take a bag, you go in there, and you scavenge anything and everything you can find. You can find new AirPods. A lot of the bigger items like that, like the high dollar items, they'll probably put in a case, but they're still $10. But you go through there, you can get, anywhere from some silverware to some hair products and just all kinds of random stuff. But the business model is amazing, and it's doing very well. So they just opened up their second location.
Ben Crazy.
Yes.
Yep, I love it.
Ben Crazy. It's great. It's awesome. Brandon Taylor is the man of that. That is CT, the manager here. That is his brother, actually. So he came in last year and he talked on the stream a little bit. And he had a blast. He had a blast.
We did.
He was so giddy when he got after. He was like, "That was amazing. I love that. Thanks for letting me come in."
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure he might make an appearance
That
today.
would be great. We'll talk more about Ben Crazy.
I'll send him a text and say, "Get up here. Get behind the mic." He had so much fun. He loved it. Yeah, what they're doing is awesome. It's cool to see that they're expanding and doing so well. Obviously, that's good people.
And of course, we want to thank the Greater Ozark Pro Shops as well. Sponsor of this event. Of course, Brunswick family of brands. When you consider your next bowling ball purchase, make sure you consider a Brunswick DV8 Radical Columbia 300 track, hammer, or ebonite bowling ball. And when you go to have those interchangeable thumbs or inserts, make sure you check out Ultimate Bowling Products as well. Brunswick family of brands. Of course, Kevin is on Columbia 300 staff.
I am, proudly.
And then, of course, we want to thank Enterprise Park Lanes for being such great hosts here as well. Home of the Greater Ozark Tournament.
Yes.
Oh, that ball read way early.
Yes, it did.
For Nate. I'm watching lane 34. I'm watching our leaders.
If you didn't look at the scores and you saw his reaction in the 8th frame of that, you would think they were bowling bad. But they just have a cool 130-pin lead on second after 3.
Yeah.
After 3. They're bowling so good. It's incredible. It's incredible. Cody Aldrich gets a strike in the 9th. Like the game, like I said, 9 spare, 3-bagger, 9 spare strike, 9 spare, 9 spare strike, 230. If he gets tapped in the 10th, he's losing ground. Need those extra hits. Brian Kramer doesn't get a double. He's got 230 left. So Kerry getting a little trickier. Cameron wraps at 7, 230 left. It's funny I'm saying that. They're losing ground shooting 230, but that's just what the pace is at right now. It's just what the pace is at. Casey giving me a thumbs up. Casey giving, oh. Sim for life. Brian Kramer looking to pick up this 10-pin on lane 30. He is your current Greater Ozarks Open All Events champion. He bowls in our group. He bowled incredible. He bowled so good. He actually didn't even bowl on our singles and doubles pair. We bowled on a separate squad, so we don't all beat each other up in brackets. So they bowled with a bunch of randoms that they never knew, and he bowled very well. That's an event that I want to win. I want to be able to win the all events here in my hometown. We've won the team event, which was awesome. I want to get the all events one, so such good bowling for him to do that. As Tyler gets up, strike in the 8th. He's looking at 290 left. He's holding up his partner while he's trying to figure out how to get his ball through the pins. Man, I've seen some crazy messengers here today. Tony Resnick covering the 9th. Tony and Cody made a run last year. I think they finished in like the top 8. Some bowlers out of your area in St. Louis. Uh-oh. So Nate Garcia is human for at least one game. He's going to strike. He's going to strike a lot still the next couple coming, but he's struggling a little bit this game. Cam Crow. Looking for 250. I swear he wrapped 7 in the 9th. I guess he threw a messenger and I wasn't looking. Liked it. Bang. First one in the 10th. Looking for another one for 250. Currently at 240. Partner looking for 270. Brian Kramer didn't like it. And he 2/8. This might be the tightest I've seen people's ball reactions down lane here at Enterprise. I bowl here almost every day. I've bowled on every condition here, practicing, and just when we put out different patterns for different stuff. I haven't seen people's balls go as straight as they're going off the spot here, which they're not going super straight, but compared to what Enterprise Park Lanes usually does, everyone's balls are getting pretty forward down lane. I think I like that. It's going to keep people further right longer.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. Perfect. Love it. As Steve Weimer just hands me a Greater Ozarks Open entry form, which we have briefly talked about that. If you guys haven't bowled the Greater Ozarks Open, it's the second biggest tournament in the nation besides Nationals. Team singles doubles event here in Springfield, Missouri. We host the team event at Sunshine Lanes 10 minutes down the road from here at Enterprise, and Enterprise is singles and doubles. If you guys are interested in bowling that, the 2023 dates, we start February 25th and 26th, and we go all the way through June 17th and 18th. 5 months of bowling. 5 months of bowling here in Springfield. We have a whole bunch of golfing that goes on around here. Tiger Woods has those new courses up in Branson, which is about 40 minutes from here. We have the biggest aquarium in the nation here. A lot of things to do. So if you guys haven't bowled this event, you should. Bring your families, bring your kids, bring your wives. Don't bring them. Just maybe bring yourself. Have a good old weekend to yourself. But if you guys want more information for that, go to thegreaterozarksbowling.com. Get a hold of me if you want. Ask me, hey, is it a good event to bowl? I'll tell you yes, of course. Not because I get paid to do that, but because it's a good event. Plenty of money to make. It's a handicap event. Good times. Oh, see that hit on 29? That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. It's a good break, but how much longer do you think that hit falls for him? Because if it doesn't fall in the next shot, he's going to shoot 227, assuming, he 9 spares and then strikes. And 220 is just not what you want when you're trying to move up the leaderboard here. Bang! And 1 on 30 for Tyler Corbin. He won't scream and 1, but I will for him. As he's got 8 in a row. That's Team 8-baggers, if you guys know. Team 8-baggers. Oh, Jarrell just missed a 7-pin. 250, 240 for Jarrell and Cam with an open in the 10th. Games like that are tough for me because I'm a little frustrated, but I still shot 240, so I'm like, all right, it's still a good game, but also I just opened in the 10th for 240. It could have been 270, 260. So it's a little frustrating, but nonetheless, 240 is not going to hurt you. You just kind of gave up an opportunity to gain even more ground and ball. Big, big game. It's all right, though. He'll bounce back. Off camera, Nate doubles in the 10th for 190. So he's only about 80 behind his average after 3. As Brian with the and 1 as well. So Tyler Corbin, Brian Kramer, they are currently in third at 294 over. Tyler's getting up here looking for 290. He's trying to hold up his partner, Brian. As Brian is struggling to get his ball through the pins. He has 1 double, bunch of 9 counts. Not a very promising strike in the 9th. Oh, Tyler liked that one. He doesn't post them like that usually. He didn't move. He usually kind of walks it out a little bit. So he's bailing out his partner a little bit. 220 is still a good game, but it's, to keep going up the standings. You want that 240 right now. So Tyler just gave him a hug and said, I got you. I got you, baby. And Brian said, yeah, you do. That's definitely what they said, by the way, guys. I know them like the back of my hand. That's exactly how it went. That's not at all what I would say. As Ryan Spear gets up on lane 30. And I've never seen Ryan throw a ball, actually. I don't think I've ever seen him bowl, but he throws it well. There's that hit right there. He light mixered on the left lane, which you got to play him lane to lane, obviously. But light mixer gets up on the right lane. Doesn't make a move. Might not have thrown it that great, but that light mixer turns into a 2-8, which turns into 220. Tyler 7-pin for 270. Tyler's ball faces up like a bulldozer. Boom. Tyler Corbin has some funky ball roll. Donnie says the Ozarks Open is the best amateur tournament in the country. We really appreciate you saying that. We take full pride in that, and that's what we want everyone to say. We want everybody to say that. Tyler Corbin doing Tyler Corbin things 100%, Brad. He's the man. He's the best kept secret. He just doesn't travel as much as he used to bowl, so people might not know the name Tyler. Ryan and Ashton are freshmen at Ambrose. I figured that because I know that Cam told me that he was bringing a lot of his teammates, which I love to see. It's so crazy to see how good the college kids are and the youth kids are and how good they throw it at such a young age. It's sick. Bowling is so mental, but it definitely gives you a good foundation when you can throw it physically well. And then as these kids learn the game, they're just going to make all the money, take my job, and because I didn't throw it that good. I didn't throw as good as Ryan did at 19. I can tell you that. 226. Missing the 10th. Not a bad game. Not a great game. Just kind of hanging around, As Mike joins back in.
Yeah, I was catching up with.
You guys are by far the best commentators, along with Brad Miller. Thank you for being here. Thank you for telling us that, Andrew. We appreciate that.
There's one thing we all have in common. We're all from the state of Missouri.
That's true. That's true. As Brian pockets 7-10s in the 10th. So he's going to shoot 190. Tyler bails him out with 270. So 460 or 470, that's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt you. You might not move much in the standings, but that's all right. I'll take 470 when my partner struggled a little bit. I'm okay with that. It's what your partners are there for. So as we're closing up game 4, scores are coming down a little bit in front of us as we see 450, 5-0, 470, 450. I know that doesn't sound like they're coming down, but after 3, they're coming down a little bit.
Have you talked a little bit about why the scores come down?
Yeah. I've been touching up on it.
Well, what is your explanation of why scores would go down?
I
Because
mean,
I have a very simplistic way. I'd like to hear your your expertise, and then I have mine.
but how you explain it, I'm curious at how you're going to explain it because you're very it's very situational, depending on what you're bowling, who you're bowling with, and things like that.
Okay, so
my answer changes. So it
You want
seems
me to
like
go
you're
first?
set. Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
hear
I'm
what you
ready
have
to
to say
go.
because I'll
Okay.
tell you what I think.
I think this is pretty simple. Okay.
Okay.
I think this is simple for everybody to understand.
Okay.
Entry angle down lane is very important
Yes.
in being able to knock down all the pins.
Mm-hmm.
You also want a very consistent motion in the front third of the lane.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So as the lane gets bowled on, and we'll bring it into the booth, as the lane gets bowled on, oil is being taken away from the front of the lane
Correct.
because of all the traffic.
Correct.
So you're starting to get early hook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When a ball starts to use its energy early, it can't have as much entry angle down lane.
Correct.
The other thing that happens is the oil transfers down lane.
Yes.
So there's oil at the end of the pattern, and it's inconsistent pair to pair.
Yep.
So when you remove oil from the front and
push it
push
down.
that oil further down the lane, you now have inconsistencies because of who you're following, and then on top of that, you have early hook and not as much down lane motion.
Yep.
So over the course of a house shot block,
100%.
scores will come down.
Spot on. And to elaborate on some of that too as well on ball motion, when you see your ball hook earlier, you naturally want to go to a cleaner bowling ball. Okay, now I go to a cleaner bowling ball,
Helps
but
you
they're
through the front.
tighter down lane. That ball doesn't want to pick up. So even if it quite gets to the hole, it's not going to carry because it's a little light, little behind the head pin, whatever. So that's when you start fighting those hits. Next thing you know, you look up, you got 192.0 because you just can't quite get it
Right.
through the pins the way you were whenever you didn't have the early hook and you're shooting 260. So yeah, you hit it spot on.
You have a few options, right? Some guys that can throw it harder or back their hand out of it even more can move and attack the dry and
Go
ball
up the
down
tube. Yep.
and go just because there's not as it's just dry.
Keep it on line more.
Early hook, mid lane hook, down lane hook. You can go to urethane. You can do a lot of different things
Yep.
moving way right, but not everybody can do that. Then the other option is let it transition for a game or two, make that giant step left.
Get away
They
from
start
all
to
of it.
really burn up. You're just going left to right through the front part of the lane. You're
Yep.
throwing it to the spot down lane, blends it out, boom.
Exactly. You hit
So
it
right
spot
now
on.
we're in transition.
You hit it spot on. And the thing is, too, when you get to patterns like this that have a lot of ratio, when they're easier like this, there's more volume in the middle part of the lane versus the outside part of the lane. Okay, so as you move across the pattern, so let's say a Chris Prather, who is a one-hander who can hook it as much as anybody on the planet Earth, if he's getting away from all that early hook, well, he needs his ball to still start up as it goes across the pattern, but there's so much oil in the middle part of the lane, he starts to see that cliff. So now he has to really rely on getting it to that dry, and if he doesn't, he's going to see that puddle in the middle, and that'll cause his ball to miss the hole. So making those big moves gets a little tricky sometimes when there's so much ratio within a pattern because you get away from where you were striking at as Russo trips out the 8-10 late. He's cracking up as he does it.
Game number 5, Matt Russo, Eric Samowski, bowling with Dimitri Cruz and Nick Krummel. And then we've also got, looks like Donovan Kelly and Vanina Carlton, and Rick Justice and Sam Swimford here in game number 5 for everybody.
As Sam made a run at Nationals, right?
Yeah.
Did he make a run at singles or one of the
Yeah,
events?
I believe so.
Like the last weekend or week or so. Late run. Dimitri and Nick. I know after game 1, Dimitri and Nick had a lot up there. I don't know if they're still striking. Let's take a look. They had 502, 502, 420. So they struggled game 3. They were 230 over. I think they struggled as well game 4. So they're going through that transition. And, you know, everyone sees transition a little differently depending on what you do with the bowling ball on the lanes. You know, some people see it a lot quicker where a lot of the tour guys where some people, let's say like a Chris Taylor, he likes to play pretty straight in front of him, doesn't have a lot of hand, real smooth. He's not going to make big adjustments if he 4-pins. It's going to be like a 1-and-1 move. Or even if he big 4, he's probably only going to move 3 or 4 boards because his ball just doesn't see the friction as much as a Nick Krummel. If he big 4s, I promise you he's moving 7 or 8. He's getting in a whole other zone. As you see now, he's crossing 22.
All right, so real quick, I'm going to set an over-under on Nick Crummell this game, and I want the chat to get involved, and I want you to get involved.
Okay.
Okay?
He's got 9 spare strike.
Over-under Nick Crummell this game, 248 and a half.
240 and a half. So, to give some people some background, he had 215 game 3, which he is. Let me do some math here. He had 240 the last game. 240. I don't know the exact math. I should tell you guys that, but I'm just not. 127. I'll do it. You know what? I'll do it. 127 over. What up, Pookie? Yeah, you heard it right, guys. I just called Tyler Corbin a grown man Pookie because he is my Pookie. You should kiss me on the forehead? Man, I'm just getting love from all the fellas. Furred up boys. All right, guys. So, Nick Crummell, the last 2 games, he had 215, 245. So the over-under is 248 and a half?
Yep, 248 and a half.
I'm taking the I want to say the over, honestly. But I think I'm going to go with the under. No, I'm taking the over.
You're taking the over?
I think he sees the transition now. He's a very good bowler. He's shooting over.
So here's the question. If he bowls 248 or 249, am I a genius?
I mean, yeah, and he's probably going to shoot 249 because he's got 290 left here. That gives him a couple misses to do so. You're pretty good at these guesses. You're pretty good at these guesses.
Nobody picked exactly 248 and a half.
That's weird. You put it in the poll?
Yeah.
Do I go click on 248 and a half? So what you guys don't know at the Springfield Doubles Open is we do give half points.
Right.
For style points.
Yeah.
It's all judgment call.
Somebody just clicked it just to be funny.
It's all judgment call. 4% of you think he's going to get 248 and a half. Oh, that is funny stuff. All right, Nick. You need like a 4-bagger here to start off. I mean, you really could just strike out, and that's over 248 and a half. But Sam Swinford on 27 looks pretty good. Flat 10.
A little bit later today, too, when Spencer Robars gets on here, I don't know if I've ever seen Spencer bowl on something easy.
Really?
No, because I've only covered him at like junior gold.
I guess he's never bowled holiday doubles.
Well, I think he did, but he might have bowled the same squad I bowled last year, so I didn't have him on the stream.
Right.
So I've never covered Spencer on a house shot. Now I watched him yesterday throw a few shots. Man, he can really throw it hard.
100.
And he's like playing like 15 to 10.
He throws it 100.
13 to 9.
House shots.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch him bowl today.
He's gonna throw it 1,000. Nick Crummell. Bang.
All right, 248
Steep
and a half.
tour angles.
Now, I don't know if Nick's going to actually hold up this entire event because I saw a picture on Facebook this week. He painted Casey Gettle's garage floor. And that's a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
that's
on the lower back and the hamstrings.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Nick might bowl good in qualifying.
Have
but
you seen how that guy's built?
No, I haven't looked him up.
He's very out of shape.
I know.
He's very out of shape, and he probably can't handle a little bit of hard labor.
They actually, somebody mistook him for a bumper boat.
Is that even
actually.
a word?
Yeah, mistook.
Mistook?
Yeah.
You just made that up.
They mistook him for a bumper boat at Six Flags recently. So yeah, I think he's in trouble. After
Mistook. I can't wait to use that word.
Isn't it a good one?
That just rolled off the tongue so well.
It's
mistook him.
It goes. So if you're gonna write like a rap song, right? Which I know you don't know how to do that.
I don't. I suck at that.
To rhyme mistook, you would use like Tillamook, cheese. That's a brand of a cheese, right?
I'm glad that you're here to help me with my rap career.
With your lyrics, yeah. Just the rhyme time.
If I had to pick one person to help me structure a well put together rap song, the first person that comes to my mind
I know.
is Mike Flanagan.
I know.
Because if I know anything, it's Mike Flanagan knows rap.
Yeah, that's because I grew up on listen, conversate, better yet, regulate.
What was
Chill with the Voltron crew.
You just took a picture recently with like a celebrity that you met.
Yeah,
that you were,
Tom Cavanaugh.
You were clearly.
Oh, you said.
You looked so happy, like the happiest I've ever seen you. Like genuinely, I've never looked at a photo and I was like, he is so happy. Like I was so happy for you. Who is that?
Tom Cavanaugh.
Who's Tom Cavanaugh?
So there was a show called Ed, the bowling alley lawyer.
Okay.
That was on, and it did great things for bowling. It just shined a spotlight on bowling. It was a great show, and Tom Cavanaugh played the main character Ed, and I love that show. I love him, and
I want someone to look at me the way you look into this camera with this photo of this man.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna bring it up on the screen for everybody to see. To those
I mean,
that haven't
the
seen
genuine joy.
Oh, I was so happy. So Stucky Bowl was the name of the bowling center that he managed on that show, where he was the bowling alley lawyer. And yeah, man, he's awesome. He's also the reverse Flash is his name on the WB network. But yeah, I'll bring this up for everybody to see. I know everybody's just dying to see this. But this
the happiest a man's ever been.
This
in a
is
photo.
me and Kim with Tom Cavanaugh in Salt Lake City, and I'm wearing my Stucky Bowl shirt.
That is incredible. I saw that. I got on Facebook for a quick second. I saw that. Well, and I just was like, good for Mike.
So let me. Yeah, you did. You responded. You typed in. You look so happy. So let me give you the quick backstory, and I'm sure this isn't for everybody's favorite taste here of this bowling broadcast, but so I said to Kim, I said, hey, we're going to go to this thing. I was looking for toys. Like they had toys there. It was like a Comic-Con type thing, and I'm like, I'm going to wear my Stucky Bowl shirt. Tom Cavanaugh's there. There were tons of celebrities there. And it's basically you have to pay $60 for an autograph or a photo, okay? And I'm not really big into that paying for that at all, and Kim definitely isn't. So so I go in there and I'm like, I'm just going to talk to Tom Cavanaugh. I just want to tell him how much I appreciate the work that he's done with that show.
Right.
And he also was on a show called Love Monkey, which was it was a music show.
All right.
Teddy Geiger was discovered on that show. Teddy Geiger has now become a woman, but that's besides the point. But it was a very cool music sitcom show. It only lasted one season.
Yep.
But everybody that was there to see him brought a Funko Pop up and like gave him like what to write on the Funko Pop because they're going to resell it. Wasn't much engagement talking about his career outside of being the reverse Flash, right? Or a photo because they were geeking out because they're all these comic nerds. And I like comic nerds and stuff like that. I'm not trying to dog on them. But I was there to talk about the past.
Yeah.
Okay? I was there to talk about his work that he did. He directed a few episodes, everything. So I said to Kim, I said, I want to get in this line. And I want to see if I can just have a conversation with them and not pay the $60. And the more I'm standing in line, I'm like, you know, I probably shouldn't be that guy. It's $60. We're here. I'm going to pay the $60 to get a photo. Okay. And she's like, okay, and I'm like, you want to get in the photo with me? She's like, no, you go ahead and get in the photo. I said, here's the thing. I like interviewing people and talking to people. Obviously, that's what we're doing here today. Kicking it, right? Well, I said, Tom Cavanaugh is one of my top 5 bucket list interviews. I want to talk to him about the show Ed and what that was like and all the bowling alley lawyer and everything. I said, so if I have the opportunity, I'm going to talk to him and see if he'll do a podcast with me. And she's like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Come on.
Shoot.
So I walk up and I got the Stucky Bowl shirt on. He immediately sees me and goes, my guy.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, I work in the bowling industry. On behalf of everyone in the industry, we want to thank you for the work that you did on the show, Ed, for helping shine a spotlight on bowling.
Yeah.
You have no idea how much you impacted the community.
Right.
And he's like, man, I didn't even think about that, And I say, what's your favorite Ed episode? I told him mine and everything. He and his buddy Mike, who's actually in Ozark, by the way, who gets killed off in Ozark in the very first episode. That was his best friend Mike on that show. Right. So, I mean, it all comes full circle. And his love interest, Carol Vesey, is on Modern Family, the blonde on Modern Family.
Yeah.
So, anyway, So we started talking, and Kim was like, she was like, holy shit. Like, he's actually,
Like,
and everybody
engaged.
else, it's like, sign, take the
Yeah,
photo, get the
next.
hell out of here.
Yep.
We have now discussed Love Monkey and Ed and Stucky
He
Bowl
probably fully
for
appreciated
like
that.
3 minutes, and
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah,
And I told him
definitely.
my favorite episode. He's like, you know who directed that episode?
And you're like, yeah, I
yeah,
know."
you.
You're like, no, I know.
You, right? And it was him. And he gave me knuckles, and we were all discussing. And I said, hey, man, this is a tall ask. And I said, I don't expect anything. I said, but I do interview people in the bowling industry. I have a podcast, I have a YouTube channel, and stuff like that. I said, would you ever be available, like in your downtime, to sit down and do an interview with me? He took a piece of paper, and he wrote down his personal email address, and he put what he wanted me to put in the subject line to remind him. And he goes, send me an email, we'll do that podcast.
It's amazing.
And then
Because
we
he
and
loved
then,
the
and then,
genuine
and,
conversation.
and then we took that picture.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so happy because
I
because I was like, Kim, I'm gonna try to get a podcast with this guy.
Yep.
And he basically just got done saying yes. And I'm kind of like doing the old "I told you so." Mikey's
Yeah.
got it. Little Miss Kim, right?
Yep.
It was it was an amazing
I was gonna say
deal.
that sounds like a cool moment. You know, those people, people like that are, just feel like robots sometimes, meeting fans and having the same conversation. When they get to switch it up and just be genuine people,
Yep.
they appreciate that.
And he did, and it was
I
was
love that
so
for you.
cool.
That's awesome. I
It
look
was-
forward to that happening. For you.
Me, I can't wait to.
I look forward.
And
to
I'm
that.
like gonna fly there and set up cameras, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna do an actual sit
Oh yeah,
down.
the whole works.
And
You
he
got to.
and at the end of it, my goal is for him to say, "Dude, I've sat down with a lot of people. That was one of the best free-flowing
I bet he
interviews
will.
I've ever had.
I bet he
That's
will.
my goal."
Well, based off the 3 minutes you guys did talk, it sounds like that will be no problem.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
Anyways, people, back to bowling. Springfield doubles. We have a Game 4 update.
We do, and I'm gonna bring it up on the screen now.
4 games. Scores are going down a little bit.
494 over the lead, which is Nate Garcia and Michael Martell. But Lavery and Chapman coming on here with 505, 536. 3 of their 4 games have been 500
Chapman
total.
had 300.
Sure did. A.J. Chapman, 300 the last game. 422 over. Tim Kern and Chris Taylor, they're bowling well. Taylor bowled 1,019 to start. Kern, 985. 404 that total. Cam Crow and his partner Jarrell Morris, plus 378. Barrett and Rice, 369. Corbin and Kramer, 367. Justice and Swinford, 335. Brandon Pierce and Neil Cooley at 320 now. 305 the number for Meskey and Pate. At 304 is Smith and Leeskamp. And I'm going to pretty much scroll through the rest so we can get back to the action. But I want you to be able to see where your favorite team is in the standings as I continue to scroll. You can always rewind our broadcast and pause the screen to look at scores. So this is my opportunity to get you the scores right here. As we go through. Remember, teams that don't bowl well do have the opportunity to re-enter the event on the C squad
Yes, sir.
a little bit later today. So we get through that right there. We'll get back out to the lanes.
As Steve gets another Deadwood.
Yeah, another Deadwood right there. Very nice.
All right. So, as we go through scores, you have a pace. You're thinking 1 and 4. We have 32 teams. So take 1 and 4 of that. Right now, we're above the pace of the number we think. It's at 320. I still stand by my 412. I still stand by it. Oh, is my camera just messes up like crazy.
So Crummell still has 269 left.
The thing is, the only problem is he's got to get to the first one in the 10th now.
Yeah, if he
because
gets the over.
48.
Yeah. He goes 9 spare any of the next 3 balls. It's 248 under.
I believe.
I believe Nick can strike.
Woo!
I believe he can touch the sky.
Yeah.
Think about it every night and day.
It's the morning.
Got my messenger flying away.
Bowling stuff.
That's right.
Oh,
Dan Higgins.
Daniel.
Dan the man in the house.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
He's here to strike.
You know, dear Instagram, you suck.
Matt Russo also had 300 the last game.
Angie, order is ready. Angie.
Well, let's see what else we got here.
Now that song's stuck in my head. Thank you so much, Mike.
Ed was a great
I
show.
believe I can. Sure. Rick Justice, lane 28. Light mixer for a double.
George
He's
M.
looking for 236.
George M. liking my Parker Bone podcast I put out there. I appreciate that.
You know, Parker, I invited Parker to come out to bowl this event and to do a clinic with me, and he was very upset that he couldn't because he is helping walk with a longtime friend to get inducted into the Hall of Fame back where he's from, up east. He said, I can't miss it. He said, but next year, count me in. I'll do whatever. Parker's amazing. I love Parker.
He really is.
I love Parker. He is one of the best people to ever do it in so many ways other than just bowling. He's just a good human being. As Sam Swinford, a little frustrated as he 10 pins on lane 28. Nick, we need it. Come on, Nick.
All right. It's 248 and a half.
I mean, 248 and a half. 7% of the people think it's going to be the exact score. It's still up there. It's still on the board. He could still get there. Because he does throw it hard. What happens if he snaps a pin in half, but the bottom half stands? That's half a pin.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
He's
It's
a big
possible.
guy. He could do it.
He could. Although I think he's down at least 3 revolutions and 2 miles an hour after painting that floor. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, he painted this floor. So, to those of you that I know are interested, is
That's my music place.
got a little music going there.
Just making a quick post on the story. You know.
This is the before and after of the floor that Nick painted.
That looks like just work I'm not into.
I mean, just think about having to carry all that stuff out of
I'm
there,
good.
and then having to paint that floor
I'm good.
at least 2 coats.
I'm good on that.
Yeah. So that's why I'm worried about Nick in this event.
I'm not.
He
I'm
just
not
did
worried.
that on October the 4th. That was just 4 days ago.
Top tier athlete. He's fine.
I'm sure he's not watching, but shout out to Joe Engelkist. Today is his birthday, actually.
Maybe. I guess you did pick the right photo.
Oh boy, that is very nice. I'm telling you, man, I've got good taste all the way around.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome.
I didn't know I needed an assist from Mike, but
Yeah, I am a great wingman.
Don't worry, I already had that locked in.
I don't
but-
believe it.
You don't believe it?
No.
All right, time out.
No, I don't believe it. I don't think so.
Okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
No possible way.
Okay.
It wasn't until I put the cherry on top.
Okay, hold on.
That Sunday may have been being put together, but it wasn't ready for sale until I put the cherry on the top.
Okay. Hold on. One minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you look for that. Okay.
You see the verification?
Okay.
Anywho.
Oh,
Ooh, Rick Justice, those went out the window on lane 28.
looks like that class you attended that I held a few years ago is paying off.
You quit with the games. Quit with the games. Mike's a funny guy, everybody. Eric shooting 230 points.
B squad.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I've already got B squad pairings.
Well, we had to make it because we had some changes. They forgot to choose the changes. Like didn't add Brandon, Carlson, and them, so we got them all added in there. And we took out Preston Tarkington.
Okay, so we have 39 teams.
Yeah.
39 teams on the next squad.
Yes, one opening.
Everything should be good.
Okay, thank you.
Can I bowl and just bowl twice? Can I just bowl?
Just your score twice?
Yeah, I'll bowl both games.
I'll allow it. Oh, God. You couldn't make it. You couldn't make it through 14.
Mike Flanagan won it. Mike Flanagan too.
A and B.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't painted a floor this week, so I'm fine.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
I'm fine.
All right. This is a big first ball in the 10th right here for Nick.
It's massive because the over/under was
This
248
literally is
and a
the
half.
hit that will be the over or the under.
You still got 269 left here.
Unless he...
By the way, it's 9 all day.
No.
Oh,
You want to make a bet on it right now?
He's getting.
Do you want to make a bet on it right now?
I'm not making a bet on it,
Then it's not 9
but
all day.
he's
You don't
gonna
believe
get
that.
9.
You don't believe that.
Yeah, it's 9, and I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess this is the point in the day where he's gonna get a little lackadaisical, and it's gonna
Tripping
be
a 9-pin.
4-pin. I think this is a 4-pin right
He's
here.
tripping
for
a
Crummel.
9-pin. How about that?
4-pin
We
coming.
both think of the same hit, but it's gonna be a little high.
Yeah.
But trip 9-pin.
Hey, Mike.
What's going on?
After hearing you give a crap to Hess about his outfit, I wanted to make sure that.
My partner
Match.
came correct. Bang!
Oh, Crummel with the strike.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Well,
over.
so now he's in the 250s, right?
If he double gutters, he doesn't
Ooh,
get there.
Yeah, that's true.
Foul, maybe maybe
That's
back
true.
tweak,
Yep.
foul.
So the over hits, folks. 54% of you were correct.
Yes. It was a good over on a guess because it came down to the first ball in the 10th.
It did.
Have you ever seen Vania bowl, the one I just bowled on 28?
I haven't.
She throws it really good.
She does,
She's
I
shooting
agree.
240 with
Yep.
a spare here because she's going to cover that. No problem. And her partner Donovan's got 250 left. Oh, he hated that one. 10 back. Ooh, what a good over on a guess. Man, it's like you've done this a time or two.
253.
Uh-oh. Got some bad bowling in front of us by a team that was in third. Brian Kramer is looking at 150 here. Or they weren't in third.
Who-
They were.
Do we?
They fell a little
Have
bit.
we
They were
said
in
who we
sixth.
think is going to win?
Did I say someone earlier? I
No.
said Packy and Anthony were my pick. That was my pick. You never gave me yours. It's okay. You can say me.
Something-
Even though I'm right next to you, you can say me.
Something about Zach Wilkins and Farrell Williams.
Well, did you
and
see
Dan-
what Farrell
I
bowled
said
last night?
I said Higgins and Roberts. That's who I said.
Okay, yeah.
But
You said that they were calling to you. Farrell Williams crushed him last night. He crushed him. He had 1,100, I think, or
Yeah, I
1080,
like-
1090.
see, I remember Farrow 1996 version of Farrow.
Yeah.
Junior World Team Challenge, Reno, Nevada.
He was a pretty salty player. I know he used to hold like the national average every single year for like 100 years or something. I don't know. It just seemed like it. Every year it was like, oh, Farrell wins another average.
He was disgusting.
He still got it in him. He just doesn't bowl as much, you know. It's
No.
hard to compete if you're not out here all the time being sharp.
He's
But,
one of those guys that just can't get away from the game.
Yeah.
Whether if it's in a working capacity, a bowling capacity, he's never going to be able to shake this game away, even if he ever wants to. He can't.
Yeah.
He just can't.
It's not a bad thing.
It's kind of like Tom Brady. Just got to keep being out there competing. By the way, do you know that Giselle slid into my DMs?
Oh, did she?
Yeah, so they were definitely getting divorced. Yeah, her and we've been friends for a long time. But she slid in. She's like, hey, this is really going down. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I mean, if you
do you have like proof of this, or I just take your word for it?
So here's the thing.
Okay, so take your word for it. Got it.
No, back in the day, me and Jenny McCarthy had a thing. And TMZ picked it up. Somebody got into my phone, so I don't share anything anymore. I don't even let anybody see it because there could be photos anywhere in here. I don't know what kind of surveillance is in here. But yeah.
I've got them locked in on you because I know.
I know.
I need some dirt.
Yeah, she slid in, but
all right, I'll take your
I'll
word
keep
for
you
it.
Posted on that. There.
Please do. I'm genuinely curious. Like I'm fully invested now. I need to know.
Yeah, she obviously I got to clear a few things at home.
Yeah.
Make sure all that's good.
Yeah, I get it. There's some logistics there, but
a few.
You can't fight fate and love. Just
well, you can. I told her. I said, look, I need a resume.
A resume.
Yeah.
You know what she said back? Read my name or Google me.
I said I can't pronounce it. Can you enunciate?
How do you spell that?
Ooh, look at that 8-pin just kind of tilt left.
All right, we're wrapping up Game 5, going into Game 6.
We are.
Someone in the chat asked me, Kevin, besides winning another tour title this coming season, what are your personal goals? It's tough to set goals in bowling because there's a lot of things you can't control. My only goal is to be in the right headspace, just be the best person I can be and bowler I can be, and whatever happens, happens. If I win a bunch, if I win none, that's fine. But just got to stay clear of the path and learn. Every year, got to learn. You got to progress every single year. So if I can grow as a person and do that, I think that's all I can do. A lot of people be like, I want to win 3 tour titles. I want to be player of the year. You can't control those things because I can't control if Belmo's going to average 270 or not. I can control that I can go out there and be in the right mind space and just be okay with whatever happens. So that's my goal. Grow, learn, and be in the right mind space. Hopefully that's a good enough answer for you. Obviously, I'd love to win some more titles, but that'll happen or it won't.
And just like that, we are now in Game 6. So we're back to Zeke Bate, Matt Harper, Brad Brooks, Skid Rash, Brandon Pierce, Neil Cooley, Ryan Lane, Terrence Bright. That Barnes team in the next squad with Robars, that's a pretty good team too. It is.
Ryan's been bowling really good. He's learned quick.
Simo and Doyle coming up this afternoon as well.
Can you ever count out Anthony Simonson? In my opinion, the most talented person ever touch a bowling ball.
David says he's calling it now. Back-to-back Shark Championships.
David, I hope you're right. What's funny is I bitched about having no chance on Shark. I thought the left had no chance. And then I won. So, looks like I just need to complain more?
That's what you get for bitching.
I know. That's what you get. You win.
All right. How about this one here? Zeke Bate and Matt Harper. Their team total this game. I'm going to set an over-under on that.
Okay.
All right. Let me just get the little poll going here. Bate and Harper.
So, they were 250 over after 4, I think. I was looking at it earlier because I hooked those two up. Matt is from here. Zeke's a long, good friend in the bowling industry. He needed a partner last minute, and he said, Kevin, I still want to bowl. I already have the trip paid for. Can you help me? And I said, I know a guy that's not bowling that can strike if you get him in the right part of the lane. So they're bowling together. So I'm keeping my eye on them because I want them to bowl good because they've just met each other for the first time, and I understand when you bowl with someone you don't know that it's not always ideal. Not in a bad way, but just, got to get to know someone while you're bowling with them. So they were 250 over after 4. and I can't quite read exactly the totals up there. It looks like they shot about, I don't know, 450 or something. I can't tell. But game 4, they had 220, 240.
Okay, so I set the over-under for this game, 492. 492.
492. So Zeke's going to pick up this 210 to start off.
I think he will. I agree. Nope.
Surprised by that.
We got people banging on the under right now.
Wow. I think I am too. Because I got to go off of, stats don't lie. And they
Right.
have not bowled more than 469.
Take a break during our break, or do you stay on?
Oh, I take a break. Yeah.
They've had 448, 460, 460, 460. So they are
Well, this is going to be done, then we'll have a break.
very consistent bowlers right now.
Start of the next squad. Matt's our tournament director for the Greater Ozark.
Yeah.
Get him a little airtime.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
You can do it right now if you
well,
want.
Kevin's bowling the next squad.
I'm bowling the next squad.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
you can-
bowling the next squad. So I'll yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so Matt and Zeke have shot in 450, 460, 460, 460. So just consistent bowlers. So maybe they do pop off a little bit bigger game now because they kind of need it. And they're close, but weird.
Matt's going to bowl 260 this game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll tell you what, if you make all these calls and they're close, I got some plans for you. We're going to go make some money.
Like Rain Man. Lots of queens. Lots of queens. Definitely. What squad's Packy in? Next one.
B squad.
Everybody, pretty much everybody else is on B.
That is
really.
the killer squad, B. Yeah, there's not many on C. Re-entry squad. A lot of people want to give the second go if they need it. 4-pin for Mr. Rash on 28. All right, Zeke, 210 on the shot on 28. Struck first ball on 27. See if he can get back to his striking ways here. 492. Liked it. And it strikes. He does it so good.
I know he does.
Does it so good. Everyone likes Zeke. I don't know if anyone's ever said a bad thing about Zeke Bate.
I really liked it when he and Nidifer both got on the PBA league.
Yeah?
I'm a big Craig Nidifer fan. I don't think he's bowling anymore. I think he had some issues.
He's had so many injuries, and he had a car wreck, and just like, yeah, tough. He was good. He was one of those weird freak bowlers that was just good. And when he was striking, you couldn't mimic it.
Weird release.
Yeah, just funky ball roll. Just when he was doing things on the lanes and striking, you couldn't mimic it. You couldn't repeat that.
Yep.
All right. Harper goes high in the third.
I'm going in the poll right now. Nobody took 492. Oh, one person took 492 exactly. Or maybe it was a couple people did.
Shout out Kevin in the house. Thank you.
Yeah, you've been in some YouTube videos with Packy.
We're doing the house stuff.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. A lot of content.
We're trying.
It's great.
We're trying.
It's one thing I get on people about, not being consistent enough with their posting and what they're doing.
Yep. I've bowled probably 5 or 6 events in Springfield. Somehow I always cross with Matt Harper, damn good bowler. That's funny. Kevin gotta get some Prather coaching for more titles. Trip more 4-pins. That's Prather's coaching. Because when he's striking, he's tripping 4-pins. I want to do that. All right, Matthew. Gets up on 28. Off the rack, hit it. All right, well, if he's going to shoot 260, like you say, he needs all of them.
All of them, yeah.
But doable. Very doable. Brad Brooks out of Arkansas. Love me some Brad Brooks.
Yeah,
as he
great
doubles up.
guy. Yeah. He helps support the event I'm streaming next weekend.
Yep. He's the sponsor there.
Or not 2 weeks from now, I should say.
Brad is very good people. We became a lot closer recently. As we have a Deadwood on 28. Will Steve sprint down there, or will they throw a ball? I hope they throw a ball. I don't need to see Steve running down the gutter caps anymore. I'm over it. Steve, sit back and relax. You don't need to be working. Neil misses in a little bit. As you can see him kind of throw his hand to the right, probably saying throw it a little steeper. When I say steeper, get your angles further outside because they are tight in the middle. Got to get your ball to hook from somewhere. Zeke, three-bagger. That one went through the pins really nice. Oh, good rashes in front of the ball return. He's hooking it. He's hooking it. As he 2-8s. Might be hooking it too much. I love when bowlers throw a shot, immediately hate it off the hand, turn around, don't even watch it, and it's 10 back.
Yep.
Absolute 10 back.
Happens all the time.
Dino Castillo, if you're in the chat, what's up?
Dino.
That is you. That is him. He is the no-look, hate it, but strike bowler. Brandon Pierce gets a strike after the open in the fourth. Just recently signed with Brunswick. People are starting to get in those steep angles. We got 2 games left. Here comes Steve. Brad, throw the ball in the gutter, please. Nope, he's not. They're leaving it. They don't care. Look at Steve ready to go.
He's like, I'm going to get this Deadwood.
And he's going to go like right after he throws this ball. He's like, get off the approach.
And he's like, dude, if you just let me go clear the Deadwood, you wouldn't have to be. And now this is the degree of difficulty is increased on the Deadwood clear because you got to slide it down the gutter, and there is a 10-pin only there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't do this right, the pin could go over into the gutter a little bit. Oh.
Executed.
Very
Perfect
well
execution.
executed. And you got to watch out for the electronic lasers down there to not trip the rack as well.
I do it every time. That's why I don't get Deadwoods. Every time I walk down there, the resets. And I'm like, oops, sorry.
When I go down there, I play the Mission Impossible theme song in my mind. And when that little laser goes across, I got to like step through it because I'm like down. It's, you know, like Mission Impossible.
Hook a little bit. Oh, wow. And everyone's
Okay.
spare ball hooks.
It's like we got some more standings.
We do got some more standings.
Game 5.
Our leaders are still leading. It's weird. Not by a lot. Oh, yeah, by a lot. Never mind. I lied. By 100. I just want to say that Cameron Crow's in second place, and he's bowling very well, as he has 20, 50, 350, 70. And he's throwing a bowling ball that I drilled for him right before a squad. So you guys come bowl my event. I'm letting you stay in my house. I'm drilling bowling balls for you in the morning. I'm getting here extra early. I brought 24 donuts for everybody here. By
Because I'm
everybody.
drilling bowling balls on Sunday morning. Yeah.
I haven't heard that song. Is that unreleased by you?
It's Lionel Richie.
Oh.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Drilling
Alright.
like Sunday morning.
Here are,
Game 5.
here we go. I got to put my mouse on the screen so it'll scroll. Yep, 610 over for, as you just mentioned,
a lot.
Garcia and Martel. Cam Crow, 501 with his partner, Jarrell Morris. Lavery and Chapman at 491. Kern and Taylor at 477. Barrett and Rice at 440. Justice and Swinford at 397. Smith and Leescamp at 385. Stubblefield and Sachs at 379. Aldrich and Resnick at 362. Cruz and Crummel at 360. Murphy and Bolds at 337. Corbin and Kramer at 332, along with Samowski and Russo, same score. And I will scroll through the rest of them right now for you to take a look at. Let's see all scores there. Eddie Bird and Tom Hess coming on strong with 503 the last game. They just pulled their highest game. Certainly not the start they were looking for. Burns and Baumgartner bowled 506. 501 for Carlton and Kelly. 547 from Scott and Cortez.
It's a big one.
This is a big one. Okay. There you have it. You can always rewind the stream and take a look at the scores. So Matt Harper has 247 left.
Yep.
Zeke can bowl 268.
Yep.
So they can bowl 515.
Yep.
Over under was 492.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one. Oh. I think Gid is trying to make too drastic of changes one way or another. I saw him in front of the ball return. He just moved like 12 right. I think he's making too big adjustments one way or another.
So do me a quick favor. Can you
Yeah.
tell me what Michael Martell is over?
Yeah, I can. A lot. He is, how many games have they bowled? He is 341 over.
For 5 games?
Yeah. 13, 41. 265, 290, 270,
268.2.
259.
And A.J. Rice, what's he averaging?
A.J. Rice, he is 287 over.
287 divided by 5. It's 257. And then the second place team has a lefty as well.
They're both lefties.
Oh, Crow is
320 over is Cameron.
264 average. So my question to you is, what are you going to average today?
Make a poll. What do you think? I think I was high individual last year. Or I think actually one person got me last year. I was second. But I did some striking. I don't know. You make the number. I'm just going to go out there and...
Will you be the high lefty?
Dude. Michael is averaging 270. I don't know if I'm going to be the high lefty. I guess we'll see what these next 2 games look like. He's going to have to bowl some low scores for me to have to try to beat him. I'm not an honor score shooter like these guys are. I shoot 250 every game. I don't shoot, when I'm bowling good at least, I don't shoot like 290, 300 and stuff. I say that I shot 300 last year, but usually I don't. So I don't know. I'm sure you'll come up with the exact number. I don't even know if I want to hear that number, because what if it's a number I don't want to hear? What if it's a bad number?
No, I'll lead the broadcast with it the next.
Okay.
And then at the
Yeah,
end,
don't tell me.
you
I
can
don't-
get the report.
Yeah, I want to know after
how
I bowl.
close.
I'm curious. Zeke's striking. Zeke is striking. Matt's close. He's got a couple taps here. If he can dial it in, he can shoot 240. 260, 240 is what these boys need, because they're close. But they need to do some work these next 2, which this is kind of where those 2 games will thrive, because they like to give them the slow wheel hook it. So they're at 305. If I look at 8th place right now, that's 379. So 500 here is definitely going to get them a little closer to that 8th place.
I need a 3-bagger here out of Harper and Bate.
1 and 4. Yes. Yes. 5. Yes, sir. Matt gets a double. That's a big double there, too.
I know.
'Cause he
For
hasn't
this
struck on that
over-under.
lane a couple times.
492.
Nah, no one ever really plays in the cashers. Steve wants all the brackets.
Yeah. We're going to run brackets tomorrow? Hey, we're going to run brackets in
about-
between the squads on people walking around the concourse?
Who wants to popple?
Have you noticed that these portable fans have become a total thing?
Yes, I have. The big, giant, unnecessary ones.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Bowling alleys are already cold.
The PBA 50
Hello.
tour all summer.
Is your brother going to come up here?
All summer.
Get him to come up here.
Looks like we're tweeting out the standings. Big ups to Kimberly back home.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Standings
You're
are
the best.
tweeting out on @InsideBowling if you want to look at those.
All right, Zeke striking the 9th. Matt looking for a 3-bagger to keep the 492 alive. You put the over/under. Did you pick which one you thought it would be, or do you not pick because you choose the number?
I think they're going to bowl 492.
Okay, so you think they're the exact, huh?
Yeah.
Matt didn't like that one. He 2-8'd. Someone in the chat said that they'll come and stay at my house as long as it's for the music video for Stunt with the pool. Yeah. Everybody wanted to be in that video. All right. Matt needs to cover this 2-8. He didn't get the 3-bagger you were hoping for.
So what do they have left now? 225 and 268. Is that 493?
What did you say? You said 225. He's got to pick it up first, which he does.
Right. So he's got 225 left.
All of them to get the over by one.
So if I need Zeke to strike out.
And then double 9.
Double 9.
It's so funny.
You would shit if that happened. 492.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Push. A little bit inside for Brad Brooks. Looking for a 3-bagger as well. 493. Did I pick? I don't even know if I picked it over under. I kind of forgot.
You said under.
I said under.
Yeah, and under is looking good right now.
I mean, Matt's only struck on the left lane twice. Zeke's going to strike out. He's dialed in. He gets into those modes. He just does his thing.
He's only missed once.
Oh, the Crumpler Snowplow strike on lane 30 by Brandon Pierce. All right, Zeke. You don't know how important this is, but you do. You do, because they're trying to make a run right now. They're a little behind the number. They're not bowling bad. They just quite haven't dialed it in yet. They're just consistent bowlers today, but they need 490 will help. Hook. All right. There's the first one.
Zeke is definitely looking good
He's
out
dialed
there.
in. He had the one errant shot in the second.
210 on the right lane.
Zeke needs this one. Second ball in 10th. Bang.
All right.
2-6. This field ball's huge still though.
Oh,
Every
it is.
pin counts.
Yeah.
If he 9s here, that means that Matt needs also in the 10th. But this is my prediction. Matt's gonna double, and then he's gonna ball change because he needs to see something for a little bit better ball reaction. He's gonna get like 7. But that's for people on the pair to call that. I mean, if they saw it, then it wasn't a foul. Yeah. No, you didn't foul. You're good. A little bit of foul problem. All right, Zeke. He needs all 10 here. Gets it.
He got him.
Here's my prediction. Double from Matt, and then tries a ball, and he's going to get bad count for the under because he's going to try to see a different shape.
And I think he's going to get 9 on that fill.
I know you do because 492. All right. All right, Matthew.
Come on, Matt. Get the double just to make it fun.
Yeah.
Get the double to make it fun. The over-under is 492. Oh, damn it. Dude, you got to get that ball to the dry quicker.
Go tell him. Go let him know. Little shaker 7-pin. That's the exact game that I expect from a lot more of the field. The 2 teen games, you see a lot more of them right here in front of us. A lot of guys that just are close but just can't quite get their balls to the pins. Maybe one errant shot because you get to the point where you're trying to make a ball strike, then you're going to throw one bad just because you're trying a little too hard. So you have one errant shot in there, and then you have a bunch of 9 counts, 2 teen, and then you're a little upset. Now he's going to strike on the field because he's going to ball change to something. Now it's going to look good.
Yep, 482 would be the number. Set it at 492.
That's a good over-under, though.
If Zeke picks the 210 or we get that hit there, we'd have been there. Got 1 game to go here.
8 in the fill. Didn't matter, though. It was the under.
Yep.
480.
480.
I wonder if they're going to re-enter if they don't get there. Zeke came a long way to bowl. And they're close. They're not bowling bad. They've shot in 460 every game.
Yep.
They just haven't got a big game yet. As Neil Cooley strikes in the fill for 170. Doesn't seem too happy. Yeah, listen to this block. 448, 466, 467, 469, 455, 480. That's just consistent bowling.
Yep.
But just a hit behind every game.
I tried to get him almost to 500 there. Was that their high game of the day?
Yes, 480. They just are a hit behind a game. And it's just adding up. As we were wrapping up Game 6, A Squad,
One
Springfield
more.
Doubles, 2022. 2022. What time do we start? We start at 1:30. Yeah, we'll be good.
How long is it going to take them to oil?
Well, we have 2 machines, so they're probably going to pull out the dual machines, so not long at all. Team 8-bagger said bye. So that's not so the way an 8-bagger works is that's 8 in a row. I see what you're saying, that you have 2 opens for 250, which kind of applies to like my theory, but there's no 8-baggers there, so you can't say team 8-bagger. But I get what you're saying. I appreciate the effort. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Team 8-bagger.
Are you with me on that theory? Have we ever talked about this theory? You've seen it, right?
Well, not only did I see it, I talked about it on Flow Bowling, remember?
Yeah.
Right when it happened. And then you were on the live stream, pair, and you couldn't pick a spare.
Dude, I cursed myself.
But you told
my spare
everybody.
percentage all year, it was so good.
It was.
It was so good, and then I missed like 5 spares
The next day.
the next day.
And I had you on stream.
It
And
was
I was
ridiculous.
talking about
I cursed myself.
Yeah, you did.
It's fine. I stand by what I say. If you can throw 8-baggers, spares aren't that important.
It's turned into a really funny, cool thing.
Every center I go into, that's the first thing out of people's mouths. Like, Kevin, team 8-baggers? I'm like, yes,
Yeah,
I am team 8-baggers. I love it, though. I love it.
it is. It turned into its own thing.
Remember whenever you made an over-under for Nick shooting 248.5? He just shot 246, so he's just
Ooh.
creeping around those 240s.
Sure is.
And he had a 245 earlier today, too. Rick Justice on the front 9. Off camera, he just went through the face, left a 610.
Yeah.
But they're bowling a big game, 250, 270 left in the 10th for Rick and Sam. As you guys can't see that, that's off camera. The people in front of us on the camera right now are packing up and leaving and coming back to the next pair. So,
I wonder if Eddie and Tom bowled a big last game.
I don't know. I wonder.
Because they're going to be my next victims of the over-under game.
The not quite color-coordinated Tom Hess predictions.
All right, so let's go. Let's look at their let's see how they're doing here. Hess and Bird. Here we go. They bowled 470, 450, 450, 14, 500, and then I don't know what they bowled the last game.
All right.
So I'm going to set the over-under for these two.
What are the cuts? 1 and 4? Yes. 1 and 4 is the cut after all 3 squads combined. We'll come back for 5 games of Cashers Round Sunday morning at 8:30 live on Inside Bowling on YouTube with Mike Flanagan. And then we will cut to the top 16 for Baker Bracket Match Play. Which is always so fun to watch.
All right, I set the over-under on these two this game at 479.
Okay.
479 for Bird and Hess this game.
Can I make my prediction after his shot right here? Or do I need to make it right now?
Well, I'd prefer now, but it's, you know, I leave the poll
Over.
open for a couple.
Over. I'll take the over. I just wanted to see his ball reaction. I took the over, but I'll tell you if it'll change off the over. He struck. Boom.
A lot of people banging on the over on this one.
Ooh. Sam Swinford off camera, 250. So Rick and Sam just had a little 530. And weren't they up? Yeah, they were in 6th. So the team in 6th shooting 530 this game. So that is going to bump them up for sure.
Sue Hess letting us know they just bowled 432 the last game.
432, okay.
So they bowled one game over 479 today.
And that was 2 games ago.
2 games ago, 5-0 they had.
Sounds like they're due for another one. Sounds
Yeah,
like
maybe.
they're due.
1:30 this thing starts back up.
Yes, sir.
So I got time to go grab a quick little bite.
Yes, sir. You sure do. I also need to grab something to eat.
Do they have a seaweed fast food place around here?
Seaweed?
That's all I eat is seaweed. I put a little
This is
vinaigrette
not
on
the-
it.
This is not the
vinaigrette on top.
Bikini Bottom. Ooh, I don't know where you get seaweed from, okay?
Okay.
Do you like wall burgers? You ever eaten a Wahlburgers?
Yeah, you know,
We
it's a
just got our
burger.
first Wahlburger. Yeah, everyone says it's a little overpriced.
I
We
like
got our
that
first
high
one.
V you guys got.
Yeah, it's just right here.
That new high
Yeah, that's
V.
where the they should have a buffet in there. This
the
is
high
the
V.
face I've been waiting to see all weekend.
Hey,
Hi, Chad.
you want to sit in with Chad for a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Chad.
I'm
Come be
gonna
my
leave.
friend.
I told Mike I'd give him a break.
Ladies and gentlemen. I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, now in the booth with me
I'm a right ear guy.
is Chad Roberts.
I'm a right ear guy.
One of the prettiest humans I've ever seen in my life. You're live, dude. Hey, dude. Hi.
Hey, sorry I had to switch my microphone
Sorry.
to the right side. You know.
It's fine. I'm a righty mic guy too, so it's fine. You'll figure it out, guys. He's having head set troubles, but you know we'll learn them.
You know what? If I'm struggling here, that means I'm not going to struggle on the lanes.
I don't think that relates at all. But anyways, how was your travel in?
Not too bad. We came in last night, got in around 11.
Yeah.
Found out we went in the Calcutta for way too much.
No, I think it's a steal of a deal.
Oh, yeah?
So you know, Mike always likes to pick his teams of who's gonna win and stuff.
As he does.
He picked you guys,
You know what? He's just a good
and
guy.
I was not against that pick at all.
It's got to be the hair. Like, it's
think?
definitely not the striking.
It's the chemistry is what he touched up on. He said, I like them because they bowl everything together and you guys are good bowlers. But
Yeah,
chemistry goes a long ways and stuff like this.
Yeah.
And this is your first time at this event.
Well, it's also and first time bowling with Dan. We've never bowled anything before.
Who's Dan?
Jen Higgins' husband. Sorry.
Oh, I know who that. I've heard of that guy.
Yeah, we were gonna bowl this last year, but this is the second year?
Third year.
Third year? Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
bowl.
cool. It only took you 3 years to bowl my event. That's cool. I won't hold it against you or anything.
You know, make them wait. You really got to make them wait. But yeah,
You know.
like we watch it every year on stream. Usually we're bowling something a little closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have to bowl it. I mean,
Yeah.
I miss my Midwest guys.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm glad you're here finally. It took 3 years to do it, but better now than never. If I can only see you once every 3 years, it's better than never seeing you, you know?
That's true. I mean, you come and see me all the time for the mega at HP.
And all I do is just give people like you my money when I go there. So it's your turn.
Yeah.
Payback.
Wait, are you bowling next block?
Yeah.
We might have to have a little side bet.
Oh, we can make a little side bet.
You know, like
Like just like a little friendly,
You know, like
friendship bet.
a soda a game.
Well, I don't drink sody pops, so like.
But like, you know, like maybe kombucha. You probably look like a kombucha.
Yeah,
guy.
I don't drink soda, but I love me some kombucha. Let me tell you, big kombucha guy over here.
So what are we seeing here? Like
You want to see some scores?
I saw early you predicted. I'm not before I even looked. You predicted 412 over was the cut.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
How many are we taking for sure?
1 of
Do we know?
4. Well, we won't know because we have re-entries.
Okay,
C
yeah,
squad is a re-entry squad.
So-
I usually get like 25 to 30 re-entries, so that's just kind of a guess of what battle will be.
So the
So we're
four-
probably looking at about 105 teams, maybe.
Okay. So, and you're still. Are we still liking the 412 you said?
I
earlier?
don't know yet. I don't know. I don't think I do. No.
All right.
It's a little
I'm
low.
gonna ignore Martel and.
Yeah, they don't
Nate.
count. They're just freaks and
So-
bowling crazy.
So let's see. So how many do we have on this particular
32.
block? 32.
So top 8
All right. So
math. I am a genius.
right now, 379 over, and this was after 5. 412.
412 is a little short right now,
Yeah.
but dude, you got to think like
But this
stuff and things.
is smaller squad, and the guys up top are they're pretty good.
Yeah,
They're pretty good.
I've heard of a few of them. I think.
Yeah. So what are you liking from shape? What
The high hard one is the way to go early at least.
Oh,
I think as we get a little later, because there's more volume this year. So the background of this, have you ever bowled the Greater Ozarks?
I haven't either.
God, dude, you suck.
I mean, there's a big river that divides where we bowl.
I don't care, dude.
Right,
I don't want to
once
hear
we
the
go-
excuses. I just want more support from my friends. So last night the sweeper, the guys that were crushing them, which some guys crushed them, gave them the heater like up the track because there's a puddle in the middle, so they just played that. And we only bowled 4 games last night, and by we I mean them because I didn't bowl. But some guys threw some strikes, throwing it nice and hard, and they did the same thing this morning. But as you see that much volume on a house shot, they're going to get clipped. So I'm curious to see what are people doing to strike right now. I
Well-
think they're blended enough that they can go around it, and it's not super over/under. But the guys that were giving the hard one early were doing the thing.
So the last 2 games, I was behind Martel and Nate, because you at least watching Nate, because no matter what, you always gotta watch the guys that are striking and figure out why.
Of course.
And Tim and Casey were right next to them, along with Austin and I think he's going with Sean.
Austin
Lavery.
who?
Austin
Oh, yeah.
Bolts.
Austin.
Yeah.
Austin's bowling Casey Murphy.
Okay, so I got him. All right,
Yep.
got him. So Austin is giving him the wheel, which he's pretty good at.
Yeah.
But Nate is still striking. Just shot 290 last game, and he's just throwing the heater like
Hard.
15 to 12.
Yeah, no. Like
Right at
up
the
it.
3-pin, and it's carrying. He's tripping stuff out, and he's carrying the 10. And when you're playing that straight this late, carrying the 10 is almost impossible.
They fall here. They fall pretty easy
Yeah.
here.
So that's why you guys strike in the Ozark tournament, man.
Is that why?
I don't know. You might be good. You might be good
No,
too.
well, that's not it at all. But yeah, I think the guys. Obviously, you're going to get the guys that know how to go around the pattern because that's the game for the most part, like Dylan Burns,
Dylan
right here
Burns,
in front of
yeah,
us.
he strikes a bit.
He does. I think they're struggling a little bit here, but there's going to be guys that can trick it. But I think if they can find a way to stay in that tube like Nate is doing, that is the key to success for sure. Some guys just physically, their balls won't do that. Nate's pretty soft at the bottom. He doesn't up hit it a lot, and he's got a super long swing, so he can get it quick onto the lane. So a little more natural for him to do that versus go around it.
Yeah,
And when you see Nate struggle, it's when he has to try to give him the slow wheel. So
yeah,
it makes sense.
And I brought the king of tube bowling, Dan Higgins. That dude, just so soft at the bottom.
I've never seen him not play the
He's
tube.
so soft.
Has he ever not played the tube? He is the tube.
The Bud Light Challenge is the only one that, like,
That tournament doesn't even count. Aren't they like miserably hard?
yeah, it's like
So that doesn't even
it's
count.
it's like harder than U.S. Open hard, but they're playable, and I don't know how they make that happen, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's see, who do we got in front of us?
We got Eddie Bird and Tom Hess. We have a poll on the over-under right now of 479, which right now Tom has the front five, but Eddie just opened back-to-back opens. He's going to have 104 in the sixth. So Tom's going to need to hold them up a little bit. We got Ryan Scott, Victor Cortez. It was Cortex earlier. I told him not to change it because Cortex is such a cool name.
I think that's still an X up there.
Well, if it is, keep it because Cortex is a cool name. Not talking anything bad about his name, but Cortex is sick.
Yeah. So and word has it the chat loves a nice bird sighting. So
Yeah,
trying to get him
The
on
old Birdman.
stream. They love the Birdman.
the old Birdman. Then we got Breed Love and Breed Love. That's father-son duo. And we got Dylan Burns, the 9. Does he still hold the 9-game record
As far as
from
I
holiday
know,
doubles?
as far as I know,
So people that are here probably know who Dylan Burns is because he did that at holiday doubles a couple years back. He set the 9-game record. He missed half a time for 9 games.
It was one of those. So we watched it the entire time. He was kind of close to us that whole day. I've never seen more 10-back strikes in my entire life.
Yeah, he's good. He
It
can
wasn't
do it.
nothing was light. It wasn't slop.
Yeah,
And
wasn't like getting the breaks. He was just bowling sick.
So what was funny is so that was back when I was on the same staff as he was, and there were like 3 or 4 other staff guys on that squad.
Yep.
And after like 3 games, everyone's like kind of doing this and looking around, and all of a sudden, everyone was throwing that same
The
ball.
same ball,
Yeah.
yeah. It's funny how that works.
But yeah,
He's one of those guys that has that funky ball rolls, so when he's striking, you can't really mimic it. You can get close, but when his ball's doing the thing that it's doing, it's like, how do I repeat that?
I mean, it's similar. It's similar to what Nate's doing right now. So he's got a lot of tilt and not much axis rotation. So it's pushing through the heads and then just
Just
rolling
kinda
in the
laying
mids.
there. Yeah.
And
Birdman.
it's hands down the best shape I've seen, at least from the right side. And to be honest, Martel's doing a very similar thing, just a little farther,
With all
farther
the
left
rotation.
to the friction, and he's going forward. And this is like Martel's. He's not the highest ball speed guy, but he's throwing it pretty quick for what I'm
Usually
used to seeing
does.
him.
Yeah.
So that should be good for you later.
Good
'Cause
for me.
You're a real high ball speed guy, you know.
You say that sarcastically,
Real high speed. Ball.
but the things that you see me bowl, I can't physically throw it hard. Like, I can get it up there.
Oh, I've seen. Don't worry, I follow the house. I see all that stuff.
I've
That's
been throwing it hard a lot
that's
recently. Actually, you say that, and I've actually been giving them the heater.
YouTube.com/thehouseball.
Yes, sir. The cheap
Get-
plug.
Buy some merch.
Yeah. Yeah, go buy the Team 8-Baggers merch because everyone's on Team 8
Uh,
Bagger.
Team 8-bagger.
Thank
right here.
you.
100%. I
Thank
would
you,
take an
Chad.
8-bagger all day.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
No, yeah. I don't.
So if you start off today 8-bagger 9 open, you're cool with it.
I'm totally fine with
Thank
that.
you. Same.
100%. You give me an 8-bagger every game, and I'll be happy.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear. That's why we get along. I mean, you've only bowled one of my 3 years of this event, but that's fine. You know,
Well,
you'll get the percentage
hold on.
up next year.
I haven't bowled yet. We're just
Oh.
signed up. We paid our deposit. We haven't even paid the
I came
full
here to
entry yet.
golf.
We just really wanted to see the arch on the way here.
Oh, well, it's not that cool, and it's 3 hours away. So the fact that you drove past it,
It's all about angles. We like the different angles.
All right.
We're gonna circle around on the way back.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Poison.
All right, well, we're wrapping up Game 7 here. I say wrapping up. We're halfway through Game 7.
How's the poll looking in terms of like?
So right now they have 220, 224, 270. 476. Yes, it's kind of hard to read. That's 500.
And 479.
If you do the math, they've got one miss in them. One miss.
I still like their chances.
You like the over?
Yeah. I don't hate the push either.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Because
if they double and then someone 9 spare sheet and the other one strikes out, that's 79 on the dot.
I mean, if either of them, what are they? They got 5-0 right now on the
5-0
nose.
on the nose. So
So-
79 is in play.
So in theory, if they miss right now, this is where they need to miss to at least shoot
Yeah.
480.
Yeah, exactly. So he made a poll earlier on Nick Krummel shooting 248.5. He got up in the 10th, had 269 left, so he needed the first one and got it. Shot like 250 something. And then he did another poll on over/under of a team game, and he needed double 9 to hit it exactly. And they missed first ball and 10th. He missed it by 10.
So he's 1-1 on the over.
He's been spot on
Right.
as he always is.
We got Tom Hess here. Let's see what does it look like he's throwing?
A bowling ball.
That
Uh-oh.
is
And just
not
like that,
a good result.
that's the under unless he can give him the mad heater and pick it up.
Yeah, Tommy, he's got some ball speed in him when he.
He can throw hard.
When that anger kicks in.
He can throw it hard. So, never know. It could bounce out. They bounce a little bit here. They don't bounce a lot, but it's possible.
Yeah, actually, you know what? And Eddie's coming up to throw while that split's in there. I'm curious how that'll affect. Birdman's solid. Mental game. Great mental game there.
Yeah.
I was actually like, so when you're bowling a team event or doubles, like, and you're about to be up and your partner's got a split up there, like,
I wait.
are you waiting?
I wait every time.
Yeah.
I don't like to double up anybody.
That's
No
true.
matter what the situation is. If we're going good, bad, mad, happy, I don't like to double up anyone ever.
So what if you got, let's say you got
Unless
more
like
than
I'm
two
getting out of
teams.
someone's way.
Yeah.
No, I don't like to ever double up and get out of the order of like being even and on pace.
Okay.
Unless it's like, okay, I'm hurry up and finishing the 9th, 10th. These people are making a run. I just want to get the hell off the approach and give them all the time they want. That'd be the only time where I'll like double up someone and just get it over with.
Yeah, because I think like if I'm the bowler with the split, my next like I don't want to take any time to like stew on that and like sit back. So I actually don't hate if my partner goes up and bowls because that gives me that chance. And Tom goes back up, strikes on that lane, like clear.
Yeah, I get it.
You
Just
clear that mental
get right
game
back up there and okay, next frame.
Yeah.
I get that.
Like a shiny Zen Master.
All right. So it looks like Tom Hess might be throwing a polished Zen Master.
That ball's pretty slow down lane.
Yeah. You know, as you can see on the housebowling.com YouTube page, check it out.
I don't think you can. I don't think we throw that ball.
I thought Prather did a thing on it.
Never.
Could have done a thing
Has he even ever drilled that ball?
on it.
Surely. Once.
He's on Roto Grip Staff. I'll have a talk with our friend Christopher after this. Yeah. So, moving on from.
So,
we got
do
a
you,
lefty over here. He looks pretty deep.
That's Trevor Bumgarner. Yeah, he has super heavy ball roll. He usually keeps it pretty in front of him. He's actually one of those guys where he either like throws it super hard dead up the track, or he just tries to super hook it.
He's like
He doesn't like go in the middle of it.
he's like he looks super on the up hit, like to get that thing to read in the middle.
Yeah, he has a lot of forward ball roll. His ball reads the middle part lane a lot.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. What were you gonna say here?
I
Zeke?
don't know.
Zeke bait 4-pin.
I don't know. Zeke bait with the 4-pin, a little frustrated. They've been bowling the most consistent block today. Their low game is like 455 and their high game is 480. They've shot 460 every single game. They're just one hit behind every
Those are
game.
the most frustrating.
Because it's like, give me like one hit and we're shooting 230 and we're in the cut, but now they're about 75, 80 out.
And this is the last game.
This is the last game. As we don't have standings for game 6.
So we're looking at your 412 number though. So
That's what I was going to bring up.
They're three.
What do you
they're
think of that?
380.
Yes, I know it's a little shy of it right now, but you got to think there's 40 teams this next squad. The re-entry, people are going to be pressing when they bowl on the re-entry, so they're not going to bowl as good.
Yeah. So And how many re-entries do you say you had like the last couple of years?
About 25 to 30.
Okay. So I actually don't hate the just over 400 number. Probably close to. I think 412 is more on the low end. I think the spread we're looking at is like 412 to 431.
Yeah, I think it's close. I think it's just a little shy right now. But, next squad will be, there's some killers. But also having that many killers can make the squad a little tougher because you get more rev rate. You get guys playing lanes a little bit all over the place. They get a little tougher. We have some scores. Now, Mike Flanagan, the man with the plan who knows how to do all the technical stuff, he pulls them up and shows everybody. But we don't know how to do that.
We have no idea.
We're just
how
pretty
to do
faces. And by we, I mean you. And I'm just a face. So, since you're here, I want you to read these off.
All right.
Game 6 scores. Yes.
Let me clear my voice. Get the golden voice going.
Yes.
Still in first place, Nate Garcia and Michael Martell with overall of plus 758, almost
so
200
much.
pins ahead of second place.
That's so much.
Second place of Tim Barrett and AJ Rice, who are 567. Third, Sean Lavery and AJ Chapman are at 561. So pretty close between second and third.
Yep.
Rick Justice and Sam Swinford, fourth place at 533.
They just had a big game last game to get there.
Yeah, 536 last game. That's a nice, solid game. Tim Curran and Chris Taylor are in fifth at 531. And so while we're on the topic of overall scores, you said you were thinking the scores were going to fall off towards the end.
Yeah.
454, how do you feel in terms of the pace that we're seeing?
See, the thing is, you see these guys are, like, getting a pair where they crush them, and that's making up for, like, the difference of the scores being low because, like, these guys shot 540 instead of, like, 5-0. That's a big difference. But you can see where, like, you kind of run into some carry issues and you have a 460, 450, and that's just not really going to hurt you, but it's not going to help you either. You're probably not going to move anywhere in the standings at this point with a 440, but you're not going to really hurt yourself by any means.
Yeah, because so if we're looking at sixth place here, which is Cam Crow and Jerome Morris, they just shot 406
And they were
after
in, like,
shooting
third.
4 games in a row of 5-0 or better.
Yep.
And that dropped them down, I want to say
They were in.
they were in second.
They were in second. Yes, they were in second. So.
Yeah, and that dropped them from second to sixth in one game, and so
And they're 60 back a second.
Yeah, so they're sitting at 507. Eighth place, Cody Aldrich and Tony Resnick, 473.
Seventh place.
Seventh place, yep. But again, shooting 511, and that brought them up close. So they made up 110 pins or so on sixth place. So that's going to bunch us up a little bit.
Yep.
And eighth place, which would be our 1 and 4.
Yes, sir.
1 and 4. So eighth place is our
That's the
estimate
pacemaker.
number
Yep.
of Jen. Is that Mesky?
Yes.
Meese?
Used to be Helfer say.
Yep, and Lauren Pate at 445.
Yep.
So, and then we have a gap down to ninth, Alan Smith and Brandon Leeskamp.
But that gap, that's where that number's closer for us there.
And I think, and that gets us down to 422. And 10th place is Eric Zamowski and Matt Russo at 403. So we do have a 20-pin gap between 8th and 9th and 9th, 10th. And that's where I think we're looking at between
430 is probably a little closer.
14 and 430. But again, I like your thought of
the real
and more rev rate. We're looking at
next squad.
More rev rate means more transition and more bowlers.
Yep.
Now, are we using the full house?
Yes.
So
we actually had one team drop, but yes, that means we'll still use the full house.
Yeah, and I think from what I've been hearing from people, 37 and 38 and 3 and 4 are the rough pairs.
They're not even rough. They just hook more.
Which is
39 and 40 actually is a good pair. You just got to know that 40 hooks like 7 more.
Yeah,
Dan's on TikTok right now.
Well, Dan's finding
that's terrifying.
His TikTok feed are the weird oh no videos and stuff like that. It's a great he's got a great feed going.
Yeah, we're using the whole center.
So you're saying that like 1 and 2 and 39 and 40 are actually decent pairs.
We don't really have any bad pairs. We don't. We just have some pairs that are a little different from lane to lane, and sometimes people miss those. Like lane 40 hooks more than lane 39 by a significant
Obviously.
amount. Yeah, which is a pretty obvious answer, but like it always catches people off guard. And then, you know, next thing you know, you look up, you don't have a double through 5 frames, and you finally figure it out. So,
It's every bowler's dream.
yeah, exactly.
Yep. Final score. Let's look at. We had Eddie Bird and Tom Hess. Did Tom punch out? Do we know if he punched out?
I can't see. We're too much talking about number predictions. Number predictions.
Yeah, so we're finishing up here. We still have Trevor Baumgartner on the left lane here, working on. What has he got? 6 in a
lot.
row. Got 6 in a row
He's
here.
got 262 left. That
And
was
that one,
in.
yeah, and that one looked like he, compared to the right lane, it looked like he might have moved left and a little more forward. So it looked like
It's
he
a
was
little
shaping it a
in.
little more on 30.
All right, I'm going to let Mike come in here because I got to do the tournament guy thing, and I got to see if people need re-entries, and I need to get ready because I'm playing bowling today.
You'll
I
be
get to play
fine.
bowling.
Word has it you strike here.
I need to eat. Word has it. The
Word
word
has
is not always right. But Chad, I love you.
You know what?
We're making a.
We'll figure out
Aside
some
bet.
sort of bet, and we'll let the chat know. That way they can follow along. It's very very important.
I know they really want to know.
Very important here. Do you want to? So we got Mike Flanagan joining back in again. I'm learning the soundboard here.
Yeah, that's perfect, right?
So I don't know if you want to put the score sheet up anywhere. I know you're about as techie as they get.
Yeah, no. Did you guys go over the scores?
Yeah, we went through the top 8 and then flowed down to the top 10. That way we can see there is. I don't know if you've taken a look at this. So we have Kevin's prediction of 412 as the cut number, which I'm thinking might be low on the spectrum of what we're possibly seeing. It might be. I'm thinking closer to 430, but I can see that little window of like 412 to 431. That's what we're looking at. So
I'm still going 400.
So eighth place right now.
Without analytics, without looking at the numbers, I'm still going 400.
Google Analytics, very important.
Yep.
So there's a gap between 8th and 9th and 9th and 10th, which I think those are going to be our dead numbers that we're watching and that will be good estimates for the cut.
Okay.
Scores don't appear to be too high this game. Again, we don't have anyone near us that are really up there. I am curious to see how Martel and Nate are bowling this game, especially since the two of them just don't seem like they're going to fall off anytime soon.
No, they're good. Yeah, they're going to be just fine.
And Kevin and I were talking. He says ball speed and playing the oil in the middle is most important here. If you can get into that zone and stay in that zone seems to stay there for a whole block. But it's
straighter is greater.
Yeah. You do love your sayings. Hit them thin, watch them spin.
Straighter is greater, man. Yeah, if you can. Doesn't mean you have to. I mean, doesn't mean everybody can.
Yeah, and that's what I'm.
Chris Prather is going to be suitcasing it up 10.
Is that what he did last night?
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
But like 20 miles an hour.
Well, we got to watch him bowl nationals this year, and that was the hardest I've possibly seen anyone, while striking, throw at nationals.
That's what he's doing here.
Yeah, that's a good sign. We tend to bowl okay out at nationals, so if I can mimic something that I'm doing out there.
Yeah, they're gonna be.
Zeke Bate asking for the score sheet here. So Mike. Were you wandering around checking out scores?
No, not really.
Finally taking a break.
Yeah, I was walking in the outside as my Apple phone tells me how many steps I should be taking.
What do you have your limit set at right now? Trying to get 10K?
I think that's probably what it is. Let me look.
Got all the superstars.
It says 1.8 miles.
So that's what you've done so far?
No. It says. Oh, maybe that is what I've done. I don't know how this thing works.
1.8 miles already.
What's up, Simo?
And you're spending most of your time in the booth today. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've done a little walking here today.
So what have I missed this morning? What is there any excitement, anything that stood out for you in the morning block?
Left-handers.
You think this is going to be one of the more left-hand dominant?
Well, I mean, wherever that sheet is, who's leading?
Well, we got a lefty and a righty.
Okay, and tell me how much the lefty's over and how much the righty's over. Or their totals.
Who do you think? Okay, who do you think is?
Well, earlier it was Martel.
So Martel is still ahead, but only by 40 pins.
Then he must have been closed in on the last 2 or 3 games.
So the last 2 games, Nate beat him by 2 pins and 30-ish pins. So the last, and if it weren't for one game, Nate would be leading. So Nate did have a game 4 197, and Martel had 259.
Okay.
Other than that,
they're pretty much dead even.
yeah.
Who's second?
Second, another lefty-righty combo, Tim Barrett and AJ Rice.
Okay, tell me that disparity.
So it's a little more, close to 200 different.
Okay, so AJ Rice is out averaging Tim Barrett by 200. Who's next?
Then we have 2 righties.
Okay, I want to go to the next lefty.
We got Rick Justice, Sam Swinford, lefty-righty. Anyone? Do you know?
No.
Tim Curran, Chris Taylor.
Nope.
Cam Crow and Jarrell Morris. So
They're both lefties.
they're both lefties. However, Cam is at 360 over, and Jarrell is at 140 over.
Okay.
So big disparity, and I would imagine I haven't seen Jarrell bowl before, but I do know that Cam's pretty good at
Yeah.
picking up the ball speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's what you said is good.
Yeah. So
Uh,
AJ Rice, Cam Crow, Michael Martel. All I'm saying is those guys, if you were to see who the leader, who's averaging the highest, okay, Nate Garcia, okay, fine. He's bowling good. He's right-handed.
Yeah.
But look up and down the rest of the list, and you're going to see mostly lefties.
Yep. And Sean Lavery is the only other righty that is keeping up with the lefties. Otherwise, we're looking at everyone that's 200-ish over,
Yeah.
and that's where, yeah.
And there's a handful of lefties that are 300 over.
Well, hopefully it turns into a righty fest in the middle block.
Well, it's not that it's going to be. I mean, the thing is right-handers want to try to shape the ball.
Mhm.
Lefties are just amping their ball speed up,
And that's
and they're crushing their A game because that's what they're very good at.
But that's what you're seeing Nate Garcia have so much success. His ball speed is definitely up there, and he's probably still playing 15, 17 to 12,
Yep.
right at the 3
This is attack the dry, attack the dry, attack the dry. Do not move in and throw it to the spot. It is attack the dry.
Yeah. And I would, well,
Yeah, that's
so,
it.
and I would almost argue that you want to play the hook in the heads and then let the ball, like, funnel in the tube.
Exactly.
So, definitely going around it, I can now see why Prather bowled so well. At least game 1 and 2.
Yeah, and Prather, he can get in front of the ball return and everything. He will not be doing that. He will be playing right of 15 the entire tournament.
Well, I brought somebody that's
Pretty good at
pretty
that.
good at playing the tube, whether he likes to admit it
Yeah,
or not.
and I need to play get off the air
We can do
because
that.
I got to go get something to eat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it looks like
So-
the squad's finished up here. We start back again at 1:30 for B squad,
Correct.
which you'll see Dan and I
43
bowling.
minutes.
Mike, any closing words?
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks to Chad for sitting in. Dan's just on the other side over there. I want to thank Kevin for having me here. And Kevin was in the booth most of the time. He's going to bowl this block. We got a loaded squad. And then we've got C squad tonight. So 1:30 and then 6 o'clock right here on Inside Bowling. Want to thank our sponsors, of course, Ben Crazy, the Greater Ozarks Pro Shops, Greater Ozark Bowling Tournament, the Greater Ozarks event. You should come and try to bowl that one. Of course, Brunswick family of brands also, and Enterprise Park Lane. So for everybody here, we'll see Dan and Chad bowl here in just a little bit, coming up at 1:30. Want to thank the Weimer family and all the bowlers for providing great action out there. And we'll see everybody coming back at 1:30. Thanks, Chad, for filling in with Kevin. I know everybody really enjoyed it. And we'll see you a little bit later today. Let me figure out where this graphic is. I know I'm going to yell at the guys in the truck. Hey, guys in the truck, I need the graphic.
I need the graph. There it is.
Good guys. Good guys.